Bonjour, everyone. Welcome to People Without Pants, and whoo boy, is it a hot one today.
I formally want to apologize for Larry speaking surrender, but hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, it really, it's not great out there.
How come you're talking like a Parisian?
I'm not. I'm talking like it's too hot for me to think properly.
It is hot as hell. Like it's pretty damn hot. The block is hot.
Yeah, it's. I went to that little food truck thing that my town does every Thursday, and only two of the trucks showed up.
They're just like, nah, dude.
Yeah, there's usually like six there, but it did force me to try a truck I'd never tried before, and I had a really fucking great I forget if it was no, it was Thai. A really great Thai rice bowl, Thai chicken rice bowl, fucking immaculate.
I don't eat much Thai food.
I don't eat a ton of it either, but it was that or a Korean barbecue place where the whole menu was AI art of their food, and I was like, nope.
Oh my god, here we go.
Not just because of the AI, it was just because even the renderings of their food didn't look particularly appetizing.
That is rough. I'll give it to you.
And also, like a Korean barbecue plate. Maybe they only did this for 4th of July. I'll give them that. But one of the chief menu items at a Korean barbecue food truck was cheeseburgers.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
Nothing's wrong with it. It's just I expected Korean barbecue to be a little more Korean.
How do I put this? I can just picture so easily like a parent-child combo where the parents like, I just want a cheeseburger.
And the kid is also like, I just want a cheeseburger.
Nah, the kid's like, I want Korean barbecue, and that's why we're at this truck in the first place.
True. Um, yeah, I don't know. Maybe their food's fucking great, but I didn't want to wait in line for AI art food, so
AI art food. What does that even mean?
It it means that if you couldn't even hire a graphic designer or even use a free menu
It's a
template,
food truck. What is this gentrification of food trucks that we're forgetting that a food truck has one job to make food?
yeah, and maybe it makes really good food, but I didn't find out today.
I just feel like like a food truck shouldn't have to hire a fucking artist to do anything.
Well, it really stands in contrast because the other one had just this really simple menu design that was clearly like made on a free template found online, but it was actual photos of the dishes and they looked really fucking good. And it turns out they were really fucking good because I ate mine in about 3 minutes. But
I get where you're coming from here. I really do.
like, I don't even care if you used an AI font. Well, I mean, I do care, but like, if you did that but still had real photos of the food, like, all right, fair enough. But like, don't have like shitty, like the renderings of the food looked unappetizing.
Ugh, I get you. I do. I do.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I usually get fucking barbecue when I'm there, but the barbecue truck didn't show up today, so
We talking like a Texas barbecue type of thing?
yeah. Or sometimes like Kentucky, but like southern US type barbecue.
Man, I really just be into that North Carolina gold sauce.
Yeah, there's a few different barbecue trucks that show up, usually like a different like they have two or three that alternate every week, so I don't know. I always get like a mac and cheese bowl with some brisket, some cornbread.
Cornbread.
Sometimes, well, I don't get like my own rack of ribs, but like if someone in my family gets one, maybe I steal a rib. It's fucking, it's good shit. Speaking of good shit, I just watched what's called I'm Still Here. Did you see that?
What is that? I haven't even heard about this.
It's it's kind of a biopic, which I didn't really know. It's about what was her name? Sorry, I'm still thinking because I literally finished the movie like 3 seconds before I got on stream. Like the
Yeah.
credits were still playing in the background as I was saying good morning, welcome. But so her name is, I think, Eunice Pivas.
Did you
Let
say
me
good morning?
what?
Did you say good morning?
Well, I didn't at the beginning, but I just kind of paraphrased myself just now.
I was gonna say it's not morning, you goober.
Yeah, Eunice Paiva. So Eunice Paiva was the wife of a former congressman in Brazil, Rubens Paiva, who's fairly well known for this. He had been a Labor Party congressman, and then when the '64 coup happened, he got ousted from that job and had to flee the country for a little bit. And then eventually he was allowed to come back, and he didn't get re-involved in politics. He went back to like civil engineering or whatever he'd done before getting into politics.
Sure.
But secretly from his family, he was still distributing left-wing shit, or more accurately, he was like helping people get smuggled letters to their family members outside the country. Like he was doing non-violent left-wing resistance stuff.
That's fine.
Yeah, it was fun until the government came for him.
Well, yeah, the government usually doesn't make that kind of thing fun.
Yeah, and so he disappeared and was never seen again. And so most of the first like half hour of the movie is about establishing what the family's like, and then the rest of it is about Eunice like fighting for justice.
But for justice,
Yeah, it is a cool, apparently true little story.
that's neat.
Yeah. Very well cast. I guess the book it's based on is the youngest kid in the family wrote a book about this experience, and so it's based on his book.
Do we trust him?
Why wouldn't we?
Why would we?
Do you think he was in on it? Do you think he was in on his father's disappearance?
I mean, it's possible.
He was 11 years old, so it's unlikely, but not impossible.
I've met some evil 11-year-olds, you know?
I feel really bad for fucking joking about that because his dad was a good guy by all accounts.
Like,
And also, in an
ooh,
unrelated part of his life, he got fucking paralyzed from an accident when he was like 20 and, you know, has a wheelchair and everything.
you can't feel bad about joking because it's just joking.
Yeah, I know, true.
It's just joshing.
They actually, for the last half hour of the movie, they flash forward like to first to the '90s and then to like the 2000s. But he just kind of shows up in a wheelchair, and they provide like a little bit of explanation for it, but they don't bog the movie down with, well, remember when I jumped off that, but it was
I
nice that
remember.
they were that accurate to it. I actually, while I'm here, I'm going to look this up if the actor is actually paralyzed, because in real life, Marcelo was the name of the guy. He was initially quadriplegic, but then after doing like a decade of really intensive physical rehab, he regained movement in his arms. And the guy in the movie like can move his arms, but he kind of like seems to not have full use of his fingers. So I'm wondering if that's like an actually paraplegic actor. I'm actually going to try to find that out while we're talking.
I mean, he might be like less paraplegic, like the whole thing with Breaking Bad Junior.
Yeah, I mean that was an extreme case because his case of cerebral palsy is so minor that if he takes his pills, he's pretty much fine.
I mean, he's fine either way, but I know what you mean.
Well, apparently he actually, when he got the role, temporarily stopped taking his medication to kind of like force himself to learn how to move like he's, more crippled.
Huh.
I think he only did it for like a month or so, but
I mean, now the question is, do you think he would normally take his medication with breakfast?
I don't know what kind of pills they are. I don't know when they advise you take them.
Please tell me that you remember him being the king of breakfast.
I remember the memes about that, but is it actually true? Like, did he actually talk about breakfast all the time? I remember like one or
It
two instances.
it's more okay. It's more like if you were to take the times that he shows up and says something and like line it up percentage wise, there is a higher number of breakfasts than you would expect,
Okay.
and like it's part of it is well he doesn't have a ton of speaking roles, granted, but it's just like a stat thing. Is really funny because he
Okay.
talks about breakfast a lot.
The only source I can find on that question is a Reddit post where someone's complaining that he's not actually disabled, so I don't know if that's true.
Oh my god, no one is ever satisfied with anything.
Yeah, whatever.
I mean, am I ever satisfied with anything? What is satisfaction?
The Google AI overview claims that that Reddit thing is correct, but I think it's just, yeah, it's just using the Reddit post I found as a source. So I don't know if that's actually true.
Yeah, that's
It
why I
doesn't
think
super
Google
matter.
AIs.
I was just intrigued because it's like, oh, damn, if he's not actually paralyzed, then he clearly put a lot of work into learning how someone with that injury would move,
True.
which I'm not super picky about that sort of thing. Like it's good to cast a disabled actor for a disabled character, but like I'm not gonna fucking not watch your movie because you didn't, you know?
Fair.
Unless it's like tasteless. Like if it's a movie all about a guy in a wheelchair and you cast a guy who's not, like, all right, that's a little tasteless. But
I I
depending,
feel
of
either way.
course. Actually, I never thought to ask you this question. So, you know how sometimes in Hollywood they cast actors who aren't the ethnicity of the character, right?
Yeah.
And that's a problem mostly in live action because oftentimes they go to rather drastic measures to make them look like that ethnicity. So I'm going to ignore that. I'm just talking voice work. When it comes to voice work, do you give a shit if the actor is the right ethnicity?
This is complicated. So,
You can just say it's case by case.
but it's more complicated than even that.
Okay.
Hyper fixating on the voice actors to me is part of this problem, which I guess, like, I can't help but feel, at least with my particular ethnicity, that a mouthpiece problem has been so persistent in the history that representation should almost be side like should be a second priority compared to voice in the way that it's like it's written for a certain character like
I think you've told me about this, like how you were saying how like black character saying lines written by white writer, like that kind of thing.
yes,
Okay, yeah,
like
I remember you telling me this.
well because like Apu was the big debate that
Hmm.
happened for a while where people were like, oh, like, is this right? And I'm kind of sitting here like, does it fucking matter whether it's a white person doing an Indian impression or an Indian person just doing white lines written for an Indian person?
Yeah.
And I sometimes it matters. Like it it matters, but it's not the end all be all.
Yeah.
I think there's other things that are in line with the spirit of why that matters that we should think about.
Yeah, like sorry, I was just waiting to make sure you were done. I didn't want to cut you off there.
Okay.
Um like what's that Disney Channel show called? The Proud Family?
Yes.
So I've
The
never
greatest
watched it,
fucking
but like
show ever.
From my understanding, it's very much about black people and black culture, right?
By black people, for black people.
Yeah, okay. In a show like that, it would matter to me that the voice actors weren't black.
But it matters because the whole writers' room is black already.
Well, yeah, exactly. But then like this is the fucking super random example that always sticks in my head because it's one of my favorite games. Uncharted 4. I don't know if you played it.
Or no.
You should, it's great, but that's not my point. So one of the supporting antagonists in the game is this woman named Nadine Ross, who's like a South African mercenary. Like she inherited a private military contractor from her father and everything.
Hate that. Hate her.
Oh no, don't worry, that's the point. But she's a black South African woman.
Oh. Hmm. 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 How long do you have money?
They don't say. I think the implication was that her father was the source of the money from building this PMC. I think that was the implication.
That's a lot more of a morally dubious question.
Yeah, well, don't worry. Nadine does not start off as the most. I did say supporting antagonist.
I like that.
But so she's this black South African woman, and the voice / mocap actor is Laura Bailey, who's white. And when that was announced in like the trailer, I think this is like 2015 or 16, there was not a ton, but there was a little bit of controversy about the fact that they cast this white actress as this black character. And Naughty Dog, the way they responded, they didn't change anything about the game. They just said, like, that's a valid thing to be concerned about. With the Uncharted games, because it's mocap, we cast colorblind because it doesn't matter. We've had black actors portray white characters a million times. We've had this one Hispanic actor, he plays a different character in every game, and each character is a different fucking ethnicity. So, I mean, they weren't like being dicks about it, but they were basically like, don't worry, we still have black actors in this game. They just happen to be playing different characters than Nadine.
They're just colorblind.
Yeah. I don't know if they use the term colorblind, but like my point is that they were basically just like, yeah, it's voice acting. We didn't worry about that.
Like, plus, okay, it's so.
Though I think they did learn their lesson because they started worrying about it in their future games.
It's just also complicated when we start. How do I put this? Correlating everyone around the world who might have similar skin tones.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, if we just devolve it to colorism, are we really being good to ourselves here?
By the way, you would like the little redemption arc Nadine Ross gets over the not that game, but the spinoff, the Lost Legacy spinoff.
What kind of redemption we talking?
So I'll go as spoiler free as I can. So, unlike the main antagonist of Uncharted 4, she is only there for the money.
Oh, okay.
Because the private military contractor, the company, Shoreline, is losing money. Partially because she's investing so much into this crazy treasure hunt, and partially due to other kind of unspecified difficulties.
Sure.
There's some comments in the games that imply to me that she was not willing to make all the same deals as her father, and that might be why the company's financially struggling. Like, she seems to be a little stricter about which jobs she'll let them take, type of thing.
Okay.
But maybe I'm just reading too much into it there. But so, because she only gives a shit about the money, as the game goes on and things get worse for everyone, she eventually just says, fuck you, I'm just leaving. This is bullshit.
Where does she go?
Well, she tries to take the company with her and then finds out that her lieutenant from the company is betraying her, and she gets basically ousted from the company. So she just fucks off. Like, she just disappears from the story. Like, in the last, hour.
Oh, that's good.
But then there's yeah, exactly. But then there's the spin-off game Lost Legacy, which is Chloe. You remember her from 2, right?
I want to say I just played 3.
The sexy Australian girl who teams up with them.
Okay, yes.
Chloe, yeah. So You play as Chloe, and your buddy the whole game is Nadine Ross, who's trying to get money from this job to get Shoreline back. And over the course of the game, she kind of realizes she doesn't actually want Shoreline back because she hated working there.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Like, she inherited it, so she felt the need to, like, continue it, but then after losing it, just kind of realizes, like, I don't fucking miss working there at all. But, you know.
I mean, would you miss working there? Shit.
Well, she was presumably making a ton of money, but, you know. I don't think her life was very enjoyable. But yeah, she, in addition to moving on in her professional life, she also gets a little bit of an arc where, like, you know, at the beginning of the game, she just wants the ruby or whatever it was for the money. By the end of the game, she realizes it has cultural significance to the people of this country, and so she's just going to turn it over to the cultural ministry. And the thing you always bitch that Indiana Jones never does.
There we go.
Because like this artifact is supposed to have been lost, but they found it. But at the end, they're just like, hey, this thing belongs to India if it belongs to anyone. So we'll turn it into the cultural ministry.
And there we go. And there we go. And like everyone's like,
though it is implied that they will get like a half decent payout as a finder's fee.
well, of course they will, because they should. Listen, this isn't charity. You are returning a cultural artifact to its people. They aren't schlubs.
Yeah, and you did also like nearly die 500 times and kill probably like several thousand enemy soldiers who would have been a threat to this nation's security.
And also, it's probably on India's terms how much they're paying you, which is like a nice thing.
Yeah, there's some kind of unspecified like conflict going on in the background of the game too that they don't get a ton into because it doesn't take place in the city, but it's some kind
Is
of
it
like
the Tamil Kings?
the what?
The Tamil Kings.
No, it's like they just say like the rebels, so maybe it's just some small insurgency group. It's basically just there so that they can have a few action set pieces and so that no one asks questions why they're firing guns.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I don't want to call Uncharted apolitical, but it definitely like if it needs to create a political situation, we'll just make one up from scratch and not worry about it.
I mean, don't they make up a whole thing about Marco Polo? Not that most of the stuff about Marco Polo isn't.
Oh yeah, but I'm talking about modern day politics. Like in that game, when they need Nepal to be a big fucking dangerous war zone, they just kind of say, "Hey, there's a war going on that we're going to have to be careful about," and then they don't really worry about it any more than that.
Fair.
Yeah, I mean it works. That game's fucking. You got to play all those if you haven't already. Those are so good.
Yeah, but aren't those exclusives for the PlayStation? That's the bitch about.
I think they've ported them over to PC now. I know they've done the recent one, like the most recent one or two, and I think they did the previous three as well. But yeah, the first Uncharted game was basically like the first game for adults I ever owned.
Let's see. Legacy of Thieves collection.
That's 4 and Lost Legacy, and then there should be one called Nathan Drake Collection as well that has the original 3.
Oh.
Anticipation is building, folks.
Oh, yeah, got it. Okay.
Yeah, there you go. I actually don't have that Nathan Drake collection because I have them on PS3. That's how fucking old I am. I never bothered repurchasing them on PS4.
Wait, no, it didn't get a PC port.
Oh, it didn't? I thought it did.
No.
Oh, it probably will eventually.
Yeah, no, that was 4. So I'm like, what the fuck? I got a 4 copy.
Yeah, Sony has like in the last couple of years they've started being willing to like port their exclusives over to PC after a while.
Speaking of which,
Oh, are you going to talk about the big fucking disc-shaped elephant in the room about PlayStation this week?
actually, why don't you tell me? What is the big disc-shaped elephant in the room, Larry Bear?
Uh, it is this, which I was able to find in my fucking viewing history with ease, which I hate. Sorry, I forgot to pre-share. I and almost everyone else is really irritated by this. Yeah, thank you. I don't need you to tell me that.
How many fucking God of Wars are there? Fuck me.
The main actually there are a half decent number. I don't know which of those are on PC, but
Only a few.
probably just the ones for PS4 and onward, honestly.
And interestingly enough, it seems there is a very dedicated port of the PlayStation 2 version of God of War 2. I'm, I'm,
Okay.
I'm looking into this. This is weird. I don't know if fans did this or what.
I'd assume so. Though then again, they are doing a God of War trilogy remake in the next few years, so that'll probably wind up on PC.
It's might just be like a built-in emulator type thing.
Yeah, I don't know. Depending on how much of a remake it is, I might actually bother getting it. I usually don't do that for like remakes or remasters of games I already own, but every now and then I make an exception if there's like a real reason I should.
Man, you're reminding me of the real thing though that I have not actually put on this computer, so I appreciate you.
What's that?
The only true exclusive that needed to be ported and was ported, and so we're good.
Enlighten me.
Oh, oh,
I I
oh,
recognize that. What is it?
oh.
I'm stupid. Help me
It's
out.
it's Halo.
Oh, okay.
And you've seen many a men's choir and groups of impromptu people do this at great places because it's weirdly a beautiful composition.
I was a PlayStation kid, so I've like played Halo at my friends' houses, but I've never actually like sat down and played the story.
It's worth it. I mean, I think like it's not something you have to get into as a kid. I'd say it's still worth it. You would enjoy it if you went into it with the understanding that it's kind of like 40K.
Yeah,
Not like the
yeah.
fan base is toxic, but in like you're gonna get some mainline content, and that's all well and good. But if you want to know why some people ride or die for this shit, you got to get some of the other content.
For me, I shooters are my video game like bread and butter. Like pretty if it's a shooter, I'll get some fun out of it, even no matter how shitty it is. So I would probably enjoy Halo.
Like,
Like I made it through the fucking 2013 Star Trek video game because it was a Uncharted ripoff.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that game fucking sucked.
I mean, no one told you you had to suffer with things, but I guess if that's what you want to
Well, I'll
do.
put it that way. Because it was an Uncharted ripoff, it was just barely fun enough to be worth me playing through it.
Fair enough.
Plus, I liked that you could do like different crazy Gorn weapons.
Like what?
I don't remember all of them because I haven't played it in like over a decade, but I remember, like, oh, there's a shotgun type thing. Oh, this one does this one's got a ray shield built in. Oh, this one does lasers, that kind of shit.
Lasers.
But yeah, I don't know if you heard about this, but PlayStation wants to shut down physical disc production. Now, this might be me huffing the hopium, but the
Yeah.
last time PlayStation announced a thing this unpopular, they got bullied into unannouncing it like 2 weeks later. So keep it up online and we can maybe bully them into fixing this.
See, O P E. You
No, it's
gotta
HOPE.
start listening to me.
It's
There is
HOPE.
no HOPE when you're CYNICAL, just like me.
Yeah, so this is fucking stupid. I Even if they stop doing it, what I really hope they do, even if it means I have to fucking pay more, what I hope they do is that they start licensing their shit out to like third party companies like Limited Run or whoever.
Dog, how do I put this? They're gonna phase out the fucking readers and shit. This is
Well,
just the first step.
yeah, but then someone will sell a third party reader that plugs in and works with it. Like, there will
No,
always be a
no, now
market
you're
for
beyond.
this.
There will not. No, that is the step that's not happening.
Well, why wouldn't they though? Like, Sony would recognize they're leaving a little bit of money on the table here. Why would they not allow this to happen? Like, what?
They're
It's no
not
skin
living.
off their
Okay,
ass.
they're not leaving money on the table. The idea is you're talking about like a niche thing. It, it it's like, okay, theoretically, you could sell an attachment for a PS5 that could let you play your PS2 games, right? It's very doable.
Yeah.
They're not doing it.
No, they're
That's
not
not money
doing
on the
it.
table. That's
Yet Sony isn't making those, but other people do.
no, but Sony puts specific blocks in their
Oh,
firmware
well,
against
yeah,
it.
that. I mean, I'm looking at like the PS5 Pro and how it doesn't come with the disc drive built in, but you can buy an extra one, which is stupid. But at least they're offering the extra one.
It's just a slow phase out.
Yeah, I hope it's a slow fucking one because I'm gonna feel a lot less good about buying a game if I don't actually know if I fucking own it.
You don't. That's where you're at.
Yeah.
That's why you
Um.
should like you let me this way. You don't own it, and the only company that you could reasonably trust to be fair with this is Valve. Because Valve has been from the jump pretty cool.
And PlayStation used to be. PlayStation used to be pretty
No, but
fucking
see,
good
that's the
about this
thing.
shit.
At this point, it is all a game of consistency. It is like it's like a tool company for your dad, dude. It fails you once and it's done. It's over. No, all of that, all of them fucking years of trust don't exist.
It's fucking here's something that's insane. I've already suffered, not suffer, but you know what I mean. I felt this a little bit because remember that Evil Dead game they made like 3 years ago?
Yes.
So I didn't buy that game because I just was like, oh, it's pretty much multiplayer only. I don't really like multiplayer games. But uh,
Wow.
but like 6 months later, it was the free game on PlayStation Plus for the month.
Okay.
So I was like, yeah, if it's free, fuck it, I'll throw it in my library and play it at some point when I feel like it. I never wound up feeling like it. It's gone now because they delisted that fucking game.
Yeah.
Now, I did luck out because my local library has a PS5 copy of it. So if I ever really want to play it, I can get it from them and play it. But still, like, fuck you. Don't delist shit that's so new. And also, even if you delist it, let me keep the thing I purchased, or in this case, purchased.
I mean, if you already purchased it, you still get to keep it, don't you?
Well, I guess I no, actually. Well, hang on. I don't do this a ton, so I have to think about how it works on PlayStation. If you digitally purchased it, I think you get to keep it forever, but because I just snagged it from the PS Plus library for free, I think that's why I don't get to.
Yeah, there we go. Yep.
But that's fucking lame. Like, I did pay for it. I paid for that
No,
PlayStation Plus membership.
and we've been telling you guys that the PlayStation Plus shit sucked for years, and you guys were like, "Well, what's the problem? I don't see how it could affect me." Welcome
Oh
to the
no,
fucking.
I only have it because it's cheap to get yearly and you need it to go online, which I don't even go online a ton, but you do get like deals and discounts and shit. You get enough for it to be worth the relatively small amount of money it is every year.
Not enough for you to just get a PC.
Yeah, I mean, I don't trust. Actually, the main reason I joined PlayStation Plus is because of the fucking absurd both amount of and quality of their cloud storage.
And you think that's better than Valve?
I didn't say it was better than Valve. I'm just saying that that's why I did it. I don't know
All
much
I'm
about
saying is
Valve.
like, yeah, I'm saying Gabe is the patron saint of fucking gaming.
That I've heard that. I don't know much about it.
Like every year, multiple times a year, Steam does gigantic sales on
I know
almost
that
all
part.
the products and just eats that cost.
That's good.
Sony and Microsoft ain't doing that. Valve also occasionally making some of the greatest games to ever exist. Ever heard of a thing called Portal?
I know of it, yeah. They
Half-Life
actually
3
had
is real.
they had the fucking the gun from Portal in Free Guy, actually.
Yeah, I felt a certain type of way. We all did.
I probably would really like that game because I've always been really into like portal physics as a concept.
You would really like it. Portal's fun because there's like three aspects to this game. One, cool portal physics. Like they made a whole engine just for this shit, and it works gloriously. Two, they got fun puzzles. There's a couple ways to do a couple of them, and you get to play around. And three, the greatest thing of all, our Dommy Mommy Robot GLaDOS.
I know.
Do you? Do
I
you?
do. I know the memes.
What are the memes?
Basically what you're saying.
Oh, she just nags you to hell.
Yeah. I've seen like stills from the game with her lines
It
in the
is not
subtitles.
sexual at all. She just hates you, bro. It's great.
You know, even before I knew about portals, like, from Rick's portal gun or from the game or whatever, I remember even when I was a kid, I always thought that like doors that lead somewhere you're not suspecting were really cool. Like I always loved the fucking um the door portal physics from Monsters Inc. And
True.
when you were a kid, like did your dad drag you to Home Depot when you were a kid?
I mean, sure.
Yeah. When you were a kid getting dragged to Home Depot by your dad, did you also love to go through all the door samples because you felt like you were going through the portals in Monsters Inc?
See, no, I had one of those fathers. If I touched the thing, he'd like scream me out and then drag me out the store and scream me out some more.
Okay. Well, I mean, my dad wasn't exactly a fucking free range dad either, but like, he didn't freak out if I opened the door.
I mean, yeah. Unfortunately, I do not share that fun
Well,
experience.
honestly,
Sounds like
like,
a
I
fun
wasn't.
time.
Sorry, go ahead.
I mean, it sounds like a fun time. Opening a bunch of doors.
I mean, that was mostly like when I knew we were gonna be there for a while, because like he had to fucking schedule an appointment with a guy there, type of thing. You there?
I am here.
Okay.
Sorry.
You like froze. I was like, what the fuck? Um,
How
yeah, because
froze was I?
there'd be times where my dad would like need to meet with, say, the paints guy from Home Depot, so it was like a thing you had to schedule, and you had like the hour to be there. So those were the times where it's like, all right, well, I'm gonna go play with the doors.
Yeah, no, Pops wasn't even spending that much time there.
Mine usually wasn't either. I think that was only like once or twice they had to do that.
But it was a formative memory.
Yeah, I always loved doing that. I always loved I mean, just in general, I always thought like secret entrances were cool. Like I always thought the Bat Cave being hidden behind a bookshelf or a clock or whatever was cool as shit.
Yeah, but like I I'm just saying, I always wonder about like the 100 dudes it takes to make the Bat Cave.
Well, that's why I mean, there's a lot of different explanations for that. And of course, Grant Morrison has the legendary quote, "Nobody pumps the Batmobile's tires. It's a fucking story." but different versions have different explanations of how that could be done. One I really liked from Batman Begins was that most of the shit there already existed because Bruce Wayne's ancestors were part of the Underground Railroad.
That is nice.
Yeah,
I
like it actually, I don't know if you remember because it's been a while since you probably saw it, but like they have a fucking antique like 1850s era manual elevator that they get down to the Batcave via.
oh yeah.
Um, I remember in they don't directly say this in Batman the Animated Series, but in Mask of the Phantasm, which is the movie that's like spun off from that.
Believe me, everyone remembers that one time Batman had a nice girl, and then it's like he can't be happy.
It was
Yeah,
more than one time because he also had Catwoman, but you know.
yeah, but she ain't a nice girl. She's Catwoman.
Anyway, so in Batman Mask of the Phantasm, for those of you who might not know or might not remember,
Woman, girl, whatever.
um, they have a scene where he, I think while hanging out with her, or maybe with Alfred, he accidentally falls through and finds the cave. And then, like, later on, they cut back to that flashback again, and he's, like, climbing out of the cave with rappelling gear. And he says to Alfred, like, this cave network is massive. It might be as big as the house. So it's like, okay, the cave was always there. He just brought in the computers and shit.
I feel like you'd have to stabilize to have like the planes and cars and shit.
Um, well, what would you have to stabilize? I mean, you have to build like, you know, a car turntable, but you know,
Well, also like, where's it supposed to drive?
there's usually like a little kind of stone walkway leading out through the mouth of the
Yeah, that's
cave.
shit you gotta build, dude.
Well, oftentimes it's just depicted as being a natural stone formation that he just built treads onto, basically.
Yeah, I'm not trusting driving the super Lambo on your janky ass homemade struts, Batman.
Similarly, I really love that the Batman depicts the Batcave as being like an old, defunct train station to explain, oh, that's why there's the tunnel entrance. Oh, that's why there's infrastructure. Like
Yeah, look at that. No, they're like, we've thought a little bit about this. And here's what we
they
thought.
were more able to do that with that one though, because their version of the Wayne residence slash Batcave is the Wayne Tower in the city, not Wayne Manor on the outskirts of the city.
True.
So like that allowed them to do a little more, or similar in Dark Knight because he's using a temporary Batcave while the house gets rebuilt. It's just a random like storeroom, a very large one, granted, but it's just like a basement.
Who is your favorite Batman?
Actor, you mean?
Yeah,
Live action?
yeah,
Pattinson.
nice.
Um, Second to Pattinson, it's complicated because I love the Christopher Nolan Batman movies, but I don't especially love Christian Bale in them. Like he's good, but like he doesn't scream, "That's Batman." It's just, "Oh yeah, he's good."
There's this one thing I think about with those movies, and I know I'm nitpicking to a degree.
What?
I don't know if it's in Dark Knight or Batman Begins. Is that the one?
That's the first one, yeah.
I'm not sure which one it's in, but there's a point where Batman's in the Batcave underneath like a waterfall or some shit, and like Alfred comes to talk to him, and he starts talking like this.
Even though it's just Alfred.
Yes,
That implies to me, I've always thought this, that implies to me that that voice is a voice changer in his suit.
or it implies that they just don't fucking know what they're doing with it, and it's a little silly.
I mean, it could be like, oh, it's a psychological trick he has to use to be Batman, but like the more because he uses it all the time with the mask on, even when he's talking to people who know it's Bruce Wayne, my assumption is that it's like a device in his suit that alters his voice.
I, I,
Which is
I,
also what Ben Affleck's version did. Ben Affleck has a voice synthesizer in his cowl.
okay, but Ben Affleck has a button.
Does he? I mean, I assume he does, but
Yeah, he like did something. He did a thing. Or like that's fine, but I'm pretty sure Christian Bale did not.
well, Christian Bale was doing that voice for real, but I think in the movies universe, maybe it's supposed to be a voice changer.
I don't even think he was wearing like that as a possibility in this scene.
I don't know. It doesn't. I also don't like his Batman voice. That's kind of like the one thing that irritates the shit out of me about those movies.
And like it annoys me in just the fact that they didn't even know how consistently to use their shitty trope
Yeah.
is what I really just want to stab into it.
My favorite is all my favorite most Batman stuff is the animated series, but one thing I really love that they did was that Bruce Wayne's natural speaking voice is how he talks as Batman, and then when he goes out in public as Bruce Wayne, he pitches it up and gives it a lot more energy and vibrance. What do you want? What do you want, little monster?
I mean, Batman is written best when Bruce Wayne is the mask, but it's
Yeah, exactly.
she's jumping.
Hang on one sec. I'm gonna let her out.
Show her to the people. Oh, what is this? This is fucking robbery.
Charge, BC.
You know, folks,
Go.
something like this, I wish I had control of the screen. But I can't really do much to show you some great examples.
Yeah, regarding Bruce Wayne as the Mask, there's actually I don't remember what episode it is,
So,
but
while you were gone, me and all the viewers took a vote, and unfortunately, you are being sent to Frog Island.
oh shit. All right, I'll pack my baguettes. Anyway, I don't remember what episode it's. I don't remember what episode it is, but in one of the '90s animated series ones, there's a scene where Bruce Wayne is on the or he's doing his workout and he gets interrupted with a business-related phone call, and he's talking in his like artificially high-pitched, upbeat Bruce Wayne voice on the phone, and then hangs up and suddenly switches back to Batman's voice, even though he's just like in a t-shirt and pajamas doing his workout and isn't Batman. Also, there's a similar bit in one episode of the '60s Batman show where he has to fake a phone conversation between Bruce Wayne and Batman, and Adam West has more range than you think.
I love Adam West, man. He's
He
great.
puts little differences between the cadence of those two, and it makes it believable that they're two guys who sound vaguely similar instead of the same guy.
Fucking Adam West, man.
I know, I loved him. Burt Ward is still alive, man. So is Julie Newmar.
What did they do?
What do you mean? What did they do?
What are they up to nowadays?
Let's find out. Because I know Burt Ward made a cameo in the Arrowverse Crisis crossover, like a live action cameo. That is. I know Burt Ward has a fucking dog food company, and he claims the food can like make your dog live fucking forever.
Does he dress the dog up like Robin?
I think he did at some point.
Okay, because that's all he had to do.
But yeah, I have the Blu-ray box set of the '60s show because I waited so fucking long for them to resolve the rights issues that allowed for that to be made that I bought it like the second it was out. But one of the bonus features is basically a commercial for Burt Ward's fucking dog rescue company, which I can't really shit on him too hard because it's mostly a charity org and it just happens to also sell a brand of dog and cat food.
Can you hold on 1 second?
Yeah,
I gotta take care of something. Just
no problem. Oh, damn, I didn't even notice that. Okay, so. Oh, there he is. Don't worry, everyone. The entertaining half of the duo is back.
you fucking Peter Griffining right now?
Oh, hey, it's me, Peter. I used to be able to do Peter's voice way better when I had like a higher voice when I was a kid, but then it deepened a little and I just fucking lost it all.
I mean, it's either that or you're watching Family Guy all day, so just help.
I mean, I wasn't watching it all day even then. Julie Newmar is 92, man.
You were getting giggity, 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 oh, as the kids say.
Like, Burt Ward is only 80, so him still being alive isn't that crazy, but Julie Newmar is 92, man. That's so cool.
How old your grandma?
88. But she's, like, showing it, whereas Julie Newmar is still acting. Let me see. Okay, Julie Newmar is not super active anymore. Her last role was in 2017. But Burt Ward has a movie, I think, actively coming out like next year. Something called Star Quest. Yeah, so they're both like semi-retired, but they both act a little here and there. Whatever. I'm sure the fucking Batman residuals are paying their bills just fine. Ugh. What are you doing there?
Sorry, I was picking out my toe. My toe was frustrating me.
Well, what do you mean?
Oh, I got fun little nails that be like ingrown and such.
Oh, fuck. Ugh. I thought you said picking out your tone, and I was like, you mean you're painting your walls?
Oh no, if I said that, I'd just be code switching.
Yeah.
Code switching.
I hate to fucking give a shout out like this, but I remember Cleveland Show once had a joke where he was accusing Lester of racism. And Lester says, I don't like your tone, Cleveland. And Cleveland goes, you mean the tone of my voice or my skin?
I mean, it's I.
Yeah, I mean, it's Cleveland Show. Fucking.
I mean, Cleveland Show had a couple bangers.
Yeah. The
But
one joke from there, I
Kenny
still.
West.
Yeah, the joke from Cleveland Show I still giggle at every time I think about it is the one, I don't even remember the context, but it's like Sunday morning, everyone's sitting around eating breakfast. Cleveland walks down in his t-shirt and underwear, like visibly hungover, clearly feeling like shit. And he finds his pants lying on the kitchen floor, and he picks them up and goes, ugh, and then just shrugs and puts them on anyway.
I love that.
I fucking relate to that so hard.
Don't relate to that. That's nasty.
Hey, it's usually when I don't have a choice.
You always have a choice.
No, I mean like when I'm somewhere with no other pants, and I'm like, well, fuck.
How often are you having one night stands that you can't do that?
It's not one night stands. It's usually more like I went out somewhere not expecting to get sweaty and instead got really sweaty because like we went to the beach or something.
Ended up with just full on sweaty balls.
Yeah, like when I went on that bachelor weekend thing last year, this little boardwalk.
Bachelor weekend.
Yeah, we went to Maine and we fucking did some shit. I don't know. We went ziplining.
You did some shit. What other shit did you do?
Went to the beach. Ate at some barbecue restaurants. Went to some comic book stores. We did not have any strippers. I brought some fucking joints and then my lighter wouldn't work. That pissed me the hell off. I was turning into like a NASA engineer.
Where were you that you only had one lighter?
Well, none of these other guys smoke, and the nearest convenience store was like not a far walk, but far enough that we didn't want to do it at like midnight, so we just didn't.
Rip.
Because it was like, it's the suburbs, so like the closest store is like a 12-minute walk.
So you're like, yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, basically. because I was the only one who wanted to get high, really. But
Wanna get high?
anyway, so that beach has like an attached boardwalk, amusement park, everything, but you need to have closed-toed shoes for that, which meant coming out of the fucking beach, hosing myself off, and putting socks and shoes that are already used back on, and it felt so fucking nasty.
That's nasty.
Yeah, it's like, And then they're like, hey, let's get some food. And I'm like, cool, as long as we can get something I can eat with a fork, because my hands ain't fucking clean for shit.
Well, I mean, how are you gonna? Were you expecting your hands to be clean? I guess.
Well, I just meant, like, let's get something to eat. I don't have to eat with my hands, because then I have to find a way to wash my hands.
True. Okay.
Like, I'm handling my fucking sneakers here, man. I'm not putting my fingers in my mouth without washing them first.
I'll put my fingers in my mouth.
Yeah, word of advice for everybody. If you're going to put your fingers inside yourself or someone else, make sure they're reasonably clean first.
Don't tell me what to do.
Oh, it's not telling you, it's just advice.
Gross advice.
To wash your hands before you put your fingers in your mouth.
Yeah. What is this?
Would you rather I didn't wash my hands?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, not all of us have the kinks that Nick has.
I mean, are we sure?
Well, not everyone. I don't know if I need a visual aid for this, but I'm just gonna pull it up. Fuck it.
Visual aid.
So I finished watching this, the second season, that is.
What is this?
Oh, it's on screen for you, or at least it should be.
Oh yeah. Oh, of Hell Show.
Not Hell Show. I gave the season 2.5 out of 5 because it had some things I liked.
You're just so nice to the show.
Well, yeah, I mean, I am being nicer to it than I could be, but like, because I could be fucking CinemaSins and just rip it to shreds for no reason. But I like the actors. I think some of the effects were good. The music is great.
I mean, you really feel this strongly about these things?
No, I mean, I don't feel strongly about any of it, but like the music being good is pretty inarguable. You just listen to it and you're like, yeah, that's pretty good.
Okay.
Like the end credits theme in particular is great because it's the original theme, but like played by a whole orchestra rather than being played by like
fucking season already.
what?
You made it through the whole season already?
7 episodes in 7 days, yeah. I was only watching an episode a day because I didn't like it enough to binge it, but
And was there any more of the mold?
from last time I talked about it, no. But presumably he'll come back in season 3.
Nick is feeling conflicted.
Yeah. But, there's one or two little like additional scenes that add something that I like.
Like what?
Oh, just little things like, oh yeah, we never did get to see those two characters interact one-on-one in the original. That was nice that they threw that in. That kind of thing.
Just unnecessary stuff.
Oh, well, the whole series is unnecessary, but if it's gonna exist, I might as well pick out the little bits of it that are good.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, I pick the good bits out of movies like fucking Morbius, all right? Like I'm always trying to find something to genuinely appreciate.
Why?
Just, well, partially for my own sanity. And partially also just to remind myself that, like, all right, art is messy and there were real human beings involved in this.
You can embrace the abyss and just feel like it's dog water.
Sometimes I do, but I always try. The It's Dog Water Abyss, I do have that for some movies. I have that for fucking Terminator Genesis. I have that for the RoboCop remake, mostly. There's like one or two things I can appreciate in the RoboCop remake, but that's it. Or like, what are some other movies I just fucking despise? The original Suicide Squad, the 2016 one. I fucking hate that movie so much.
Mr. Megorium's Wonder Emporium.
I've never seen it, but I've heard the fact that Walter White was so excited to have 2 copies of it indicates to me its quality. That's the only fucking thing I know about that movie.
I forgot that was even a thing.
Yeah, because there's no internet. He's just limited to DVDs, so he's just going through the box of DVDs. He's like, "Oh, Mr. Megorium's Wonder Emporium, 2 copies."
2 copies.
Presumably, because whoever stayed there last liked it so much they wore out the first one.
You should never be a fan of Mr. Megorium's Wonder Emporium.
Speaking of that, you've seen Wally, I assume, right?
Eva. Yes.
Yes. So remember how he has that whole like love affair with Hello Dolly?
What?
The movie he keeps watching clips of.
Yes.
That's the movie is called Hello Dolly.
And
apparently it's not very good. Because I have the Criterion disc, which has like 3 commentaries and a million other bonus features. And the thing they consistently say every fucking bonus feature is, we made absolutely sure to make it clear that this was the only movie Wally had. Because if he had any movies other than Hello Dolly and he chose to watch Hello Dolly, that means he has bad taste.
And I don't think Wally has bad taste now.
Well, that was their point, was like they wanted to make sure you knew that, so they made sure to make it very clear that the only fucking movie he has is Hello Dolly.
That's so messed up.
Yeah, I've never even seen Hello Dolly. I don't know if it's any fucking good.
It can't be that bad, can it?
It's a movie from that era, which means that just technology alone demanded a degree of dedication.
That's what I'm saying. Like, is it like what is bad?
Yeah, I don't know. Keep in mind, like, these are dudes who grew up in the era where that movie would have looked old and lame, so.
Well, yeah, but to be fair, these guys themselves are literally old and lame.
They weren't that old when they did Wally, but now they are. They're old in the new bonus features that Criterion shot. But in the old ones from the 08 DVD, they're not that old.
How old is not that old? Because that seems like what old people tell young people.
Like in their 30s and 40s.
Okay.
Like younger than my parents.
Fair. Okay.
Now, of course, they're like, again, I don't want to say old, because it's not like Andrew Stanton fucking looks terrible now, but he definitely looks 15 years older than he did in 2008, because he was.
Because he was.
Yeah, like, oh, he had long hair in 2008 and now he has short hair, fucking. He's aged pretty well, especially for a guy who sits at desks all day for a living.
What's wrong with sitting at desks all day?
Nothing, it's just hard on your body.
Is it really?
It can be. Like, if you don't get up and, like, get a decent amount of exercise every so often, like, it can hurt your fucking back.
Fair.
I mean, part of why this is a big and tall chair, I'm nowhere near heavy enough to demand a big and tall chair. But I got one because since they're built for really big, fat motherfuckers, they have so much support for my bad back.
Huh.
Like, this chair is rated for, like, 450 pounds, and I weigh less than half of that. Well, probably exactly half of that.
That's okay.
Dude, when I went to the fucking doctor, finally, because I'd just been lazy about getting a new doctor, when I stepped on that scale and I wasn't any fatter than I'd been last time I went to a doctor, I was like, oh, thank you, Jesus.
You're like, I'm doing it. I'm maintaining.
I have not gotten any fatter than I was 3 years ago.
Thank you, sweet Jeebus.
I feel like Stavros Halkias when he did the fucking fitness video, and he's like, all right, my fitness goal is to not be fatter at the end of this tour than I was at the beginning.
Did he meet his goal?
I think he did.
Good
or at
for
least
him.
I think he lost a little bit of weight. But,
Good for him.
you should watch those fucking Stavi Gets Ripped videos. They're actually really funny.
What are they on the YouTubes?
Yeah, he does YouTube, like he's a podcaster, stand-up comedian, and everything. But
He's
he
on
has
the
this.
Yotubs, as the kids say.
He what?
He's on the Yotubs, as some of the
Exactly.
kids say.
So on his channel, he has a series. He's done 3 little seasons of it now, called Stavi Gets Ripped, that just documents his journey to not be as fat as he is now.
But I want him fat.
Well, no, he doesn't want to get skinny. He just wants to get like he wants his weight to start with a 2 again.
That's fair. He's allowed to have that.
Well, he keeps saying that his goal body is like James Gandolfini from the late 90s, like big arms but also fat gut.
That's so specific.
Also, ironically, his younger brother is a gym owner slash personal trainer, so he's doing a lot of the workouts with his brother. So they're like fucking nut tapping each other and making dirty jokes the whole time.
That's so. What?
What?
I just wouldn't have expected him to have that kind of relationship with someone and still be so fucking fat.
Well, that's kind of why it's funny, is that his brother, his baby brother, is this like fitness dude, and then he's this big fat fuck.
So it's like a real life version of a Rock or an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie.
He's not as extremely built as Arnold. He's just like a guy who weightlifts but also has a normal life.
But you know what I mean.
Yeah. Like, yeah, he's not a fucking freak. He's just like in very good shape.
Is somebody gonna match my freak?
He's got that exact body where you can tell that he works out hard but also fucking loves desserts.
And doesn't take steroids?
I assume so. He doesn't look
Don't
like
take steroids, kids.
yeah, he doesn't look like he takes steroids. So.
We here do not support taking steroids.
Yeah, it's weird how that, because when I was a kid, that was a big like just say no moral panic, was don't take steroids. It's kind of funny how that one fell by the wayside in our culture.
It kind of makes sense.
Why? Like, because the problem is lesser? Because I'd hope
Well, no, because like, okay, this is gonna sound kind of fucked up. I want you to really hear me out.
so. Okay, I'm putting on
Why
my
should
hear
they
me
take
out
steroids?
goggles.
Why shouldn't they take steroids? These motherfuckers are getting paid millions on millions of dollars with the sole goal of entertaining me.
Oh, you're doing the Bill Burr argument. Okay, yeah. Bill Burr said basically the same thing.
Well, I don't fucking like. No, like literally, what I first want is an actual why not. And this isn't sarcasm. Why not?
I mean, I don't entirely disagree. Like, I don't think steroids should fucking be illegal to take or whatever. So, like, when you say they, do you mean like pro wrestlers or like actual, like, genuine competition athletes?
Both.
Okay, because with competition athletes, I get why they're hesitant to fucking allow it.
Why?
Because it, like, challenges the fairness of the sport and everything. And of course, sports are never really fair, but the whole point is you try to make them as fair as you can.
But it's literally based upon act. Okay, like I'm talking fairness just in terms of access to resources is vastly
Oh, I know.
different.
Well, I always joke, like, dude, how fucking tall would Shaq have been if he'd grown up with more consistent nutrition?
True, true, true.
Like, would he have been 8 feet tall if he fucking had more nutritious food growing up?
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's a fucking moral imperative to even worry about this. Like, if the leagues all said, fuck it, steroids are allowed, I'd just be like, oh, all right.
You just be cool with it.
I mean, I do respect an athlete's accomplishments more if they did it without steroids, but
I just want there to be an option for them to do it.
I do think it would be cool to have a little, like, alt league where you're allowed to take roids. Like, fuck it, let's see how high this guy can jump.
Truly, I don't understand why not.
Yeah, if it was an alt league, I could definitely get behind it. I don't know if you should fuck with the existing one just because, like, it upset people, but
No, just like League Two, Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, it's little like remember the XFL from like 2002?
Yes, exactly. I just want extreme sports where the extreme means steroids.
You know what's funny? I don't give a fuck about sports like at all, but when sports are on, like during Olympic season or whatever, the ones I like watching the most are kind of the weird ones, like curling or whatever.
Hurling, buddy.
Like I don't love curling, but like I'd much rather watch the Olympic curling than watch the Olympic basketball because I know what a fucking basketball match looks like. Ball go up, ball go down, infinite combinations therein.
That's so much haterade.
It's not hatering. Basketball's fine. I'm not gonna fucking leave the room if basketball's on. I'm just saying that if someone says you want to watch basketball or curling, I'd be like, fuck it. Let's see what the curlers are up to.
You want to watch some people fucking mop the ground, dude?
It's interesting to me. I don't know. Maybe it's just the novelty of it. Maybe if I'd grown up in Canada, I'd be fucking sick of it, just like I'm sick of hockey. But like,
I just think it's dumb as a concept.
I mean, they're all a little dumb. Like football's kind of fucking silly if you think about it.
What part? I mean, because I can see parts of this being silly, but like, where's the value at all in curling? Please.
Well, what's the value in any of them? It's fun to watch for people, and it's fun to play for other people.
I mean, yeah, but I guess if you're asking about football, I'd be like, well, it's a fun war simulation or something.
I mean, technically, any team sport is really a non-violent, ostensibly non-violent war simulation.
Yeah, but some are better than others at representing that. Also, I wouldn't say basketball really is.
I mean, well, not combat, but like it's a strategy game. Like what
Oh
is
yeah,
chess if not a
sure.
war simulator?
What is breathing if not a war simulator?
I mean, by some people's perspective, yeah. I think back to like
Yeah, those
gym
people read
class.
Ayn Rand.
Like I
What?
think what
I said, and those people read Ayn Rand.
true. I think back to like gym class, and that you play all the different sports in gym class. I was always more into the ones I didn't always see on TV just because of the novelty. Like I wasn't very especially good at any of them, but like I liked lacrosse because I'm not constantly fucking bombarded with lacrosse.
To a point, I get that, but what about accessibility, dude?
Oh, I'm not even complaining. When they said, "Hey, we're playing basketball today," I'd be like, "All right, cool." But then when it's lacrosse, it's like, "Ooh, lacrosse! I haven't gotten to do that in a while."
The LAX, as it were.
Yes. Or to steal a racist joke from Family Guy, lacrosse, which is also my brother's name.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
That's, huh.
Jerome, the bartender. That was one of his
That's
lines.
that's a line.
Yeah. It was mildly amusing when I was 14 years old.
Jerome's been around since you were 14 years old.
I think Jerome was introduced in like '07, wasn't he?
Oh my god.
Now, granted, it took a while for him to become the owner of the bar. I think that was more like when I was in high school, but
What else was he doing?
he was just like a guest character who'd pop in for like a scene or two at a time. Like he didn't live in Quahog till later.
What was he introduced for?
Just as Lois's ex-boyfriend for Peter to get jealous over.
Oh yeah.
And then they did like occasional jokes with that over the years, and somewhere along the way they killed off Horace, who was the original bartender. I forget if that's because the actor died or if they just ran out of ideas for the character or what. But
I which one was Horace? He wasn't the one.
he was like the old bald white guy who used to own the clam. He was like a really minor character, which is probably why they killed him off because they just didn't have any fuel for him.
Like, they barely used the old boy.
Yeah, some of the stuff from Family Guy's early days they eventually just replaced because it got barely used, such as Peter working at the toy factory.
Well, but like, didn't they at least like address how that happened?
Well, yeah, they addressed how he got fired from it, but I think they just did that because they realized they weren't actually using the scenario at all.
true. I mean, I do enjoy him working at the beer factory.
Yeah, that's where he works now. He used to have Carrie Fisher as his boss till she died.
That was Carrie Fisher?
Yeah, Angela was her name.
I did not know that was Carrie Fisher.
Speaking of Family Guy characters who died and have stayed dead, remember Diane Simmons?
Yes.
Do you know who that actress used to voice before Family Guy?
Oh.
He used to voice the Invisible Woman on the '90s Fantastic Four cartoon.
And of course, Seth just wanted her. Seth.
Well, it's funny because when I watched that cartoon, I was like, "That's Diane fucking Simmons," and it made it like harder to take her lines seriously.
Diane Simmons. I can't.
Uh, we were talking about Avatar a while ago, but it sucks, so we stopped. Anyway, yeah,
Who
Avatar.
wants to talk about Avatar? It sucks.
Yeah, well, this version of Avatar, that is.
I mean, yeah, but like the real Avatar, it's been like what 12 years? What is it gonna say?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, there's some good stuff in it. I like the actors. I like the dude who plays Sokka. He's really good. He definitely feels like Sokka.
He's Sokka-ish.
Yeah, like when he talks, it's like, yeah, that sounds like a line Sokka would say, even if it's not a line from the original show.
He's very Sokka-tastic, as it were.
Yeah. I like Toph too. She does a really good job of like, I'll take that off the screen. I was reading because I was trying to figure out, is she actually blind? Because they when they were announcing casting for her, they explicitly said like blind actresses encouraged to apply because they didn't want to do a fucking ableism. And they ultimately did not go with a blind actress, but what she did, because she's method or whatever, was that she wore vision restricting contact lenses when she was on set.
What the hell?
I don't know if they completely blocked out her vision, but I know they restricted her vision a ton so that she'd have to learn to navigate like Toph.
I guess that's method as shit.
I assume for the fight scenes they probably took them out, um, but like you notice in the conversation scenes that she's really good at doing something they were good at with the animated version of Toph, which is that Toph doesn't fully look at people when she talks to them.
Oh, that is nice.
Yeah, like the animated version was, that's easy to do because you draw it however you want, but like the actress playing her is good about like if Aang is here, she's kind of pointing her head like here. Like vaguely in the direction, but not perfect. And like she's good about like looking down, letting her hair fall in her eyes in a way the other actors don't.
I love this.
Yeah, so I give, and really all the actors in general I give a lot of credit to. Or the main ones at least. I could probably nitpick about a fucking like minor character, but all the main actors I think are pretty good. Iroh is. I really like that Iroh is. He feels like Iroh, but he's not doing a Mako impression.
How so?
Like he feels authentic. He feels like Iroh, but he's not imitating Mako's voice. He's making the character his own a little more.
Okay.
His version of Iroh, like he's overall like he's a very recognizable Iroh, but he carries a little more world weariness in his eyes in this version. Like he's not masking his world weariness in humor as much. He's more masking it in like a pleasant attitude.
I get you.
Yeah, but like that actor, he's really good at like showing in his eyes that like he carries some guilt around for the shit he did during the war.
As he should.
Well, to be fair, we don't actually know really anything about his war record other than the Ba Sing Se siege, but
We know he was a general.
yeah, but like it kind of bugs me when they say he's a war criminal because we don't really know that for sure. And given Iroh's general personality, I would assume that he kind of demanded his men, at least the men he directly commanded, followed the Geneva Convention.
The what?
Whatever their version of the Geneva Convention is.
Why do you assume they have one?
Well, I'm not assuming they have one. I'm saying the principles of it. Like, Like, I would assume that when Iroh's Legion captured, like, a group of Earthbenders, he was like, alright, now make sure these guys get their 3 meals, you know.
Why?
Because I know Iroh's character, and I know that, like, because we know stuff he did before being general that speaks to his, like, worldliness and wisdom. Like, the whole encounter with the dragons and shit predates him being a general at all.
That doesn't mean he's taking POWs. He's probably killing men with honor.
Well, maybe he is, but my point, I don't know, that was just a fucking example. My point is, like, I don't think that he's, like, ordering the mass rape of the Earth Kingdom civilians.
Not that kind of war crime, but like
Well, what kind of war crime are you referring to?
I could see him burning some shit down.
On orders, yeah.
Him giving the orders. He's the general.
Well, I mean, burning shit down, if by burning shit you mean, like, places where there is fighting, yeah, but I don't think he's, like, I don't think he's doing the fucking Vietnam approach where they have a skirmish out in the woods and then burn down the nearest village just to be a dick.
No, but I could see him doing the Japan approach, just firebomb anything he can fucking get his hands on.
That's more likely, yeah. Of course, then again, when you're talking about war crimes, you have to talk about, well, what is the war crime legal system in this world, which we don't really know. Because people always joke that Anakin
Well,
in Clone... What?
Well, when people say he did war crimes in general, that's wrong because he never got tried. But
Yeah.
they just mean things he should have been doing.
Yeah. But, like, I know you haven't watched a ton of Clone Wars, but you'll see people online joking how Anakin is a war criminal.
Is it?
Well, officially, yes, but that's just because kids' shows love to use the I surrender, haha, no, I don't trick. And that is technically a war crime, and Anakin and also even other characters do that trick all the time in Clone Wars. But that's really the only war crime the heroes consistently commit. Every other time we see them fighting a war, they're fighting in, like, deserted streets against enemy soldiers only, you know?
I might say that we simply misheard them. They didn't surrender. They sneezed or something.
But yeah, my point, like, it's not like Anakin is fucking cutting down children. Well, I mean, he does cut off children's heads, but not as general. He did that on his own time. I don't know. But anyway, the reason I brought up the Iroh war criminal thing is because there's a scene where he it's basically just a modification of an existing scene, but the scene where he goes to the White Lotus tea shop.
Yeah.
So in that scene, you know, he finds the tile that was left behind in his tea shop. And he shows up and he uses the code phrase and they let him in. But the people in there are kind of reluctant to trust him because they know who he is, right?
Sure, because Rhythm should have died and all that.
Yeah, and one of the guys there, I think he's the guy I was talking about earlier. He's one of the Fire Nation deserters living in the little, like, ethnic enclave on the outskirts of Ba Sing Se.
Yeah.
And he was a leader, like a military leader. I forget his rank, but he was like captain or whatever. Sure. And he deserted, and he says to Iroh, like, you know, I served under you. I remember what we did in that fucking war. That was really nasty shit, and it still haunts me. What do you have to say to that, basically? And, or basically, he kind of says, like, you know, if I want revenge against you, what are you going to do about it? And Iroh kind of just says, I'm sorry for the things I ordered you to do, and, like, extends his hand, and they kind of, like, semi-reluctantly make peace with each other.
So what are we thinking Iroh ordered them to do?
Probably just, like, fight in areas that weren't cleared of civilians. That'd be my guess.
Let's hope.
Because, like, he makes claims, you know, the Dragon of the West is the one who ordered the slaughter of so-and-so, but, like, it's unclear if any of that is true or if he's just repeating legends he heard.
Oh, I get you.
Yeah, though Iroh doesn't dispute it, to be clear. So maybe maybe it's one of the cases where he didn't commit the crime himself, but he witnessed his superior do it and fucking felt guilty for not stopping him. They do a lot of that in fiction when they want the character to feel guilt without actually making him a bad guy.
I was there and I could have stopped it, but I didn't.
Yeah, like they did that with Picard, like where he could have fucking implanted the Borg virus in Hugh and he didn't, you know.
Fucking Picard.
Though technically he did. He just implanted the virus of individuality, which he says in the episode. He's like, I am implanting a virus, all right, just not the one they think I am. So he kind of did do exactly that.
That's a big kind of.
Yeah, I know. But it's a gamble, but it ultimately pays off because Hugh comes back and we find out that he freed more of the Borg and everything.
True. Okay.
And also, because I know how fiction works, there's no fucking way that virus would have actually killed the whole Borg. Like, come on.
Fair. But we can dream, can't we?
Oh, yeah, I joked about how, like, the Borg are the one group it's okay to just do genocide against because they are literally collectively guilty.
That's hilarious.
And also, like, you can't really reason with them. Like, the Klingons might be assholes at times, but, like, you can reason with the Klingons under the right circumstances.
Damn, you're anti-hive mind. That's crazy.
Well, no, if they wanted to be a hive mind who just left people alone and went around looking at space rocks and shit, that's fine.
That's not their nature.
No, I know it's not their nature, but sometimes your nature fucking sucks, dude. Sorry.
Oh my god. Now you sound like the fucking thing you were texting me about earlier that I wanted to wait to talk to you about now.
Yeah, I was hoping you would. So, to be clear, when I was saying that I look down on certain cultures on Earth, I'm not saying for ethnic reasons at all. I'm saying for things they still do. And by the way, I look down on American culture a fuck ton too. So it's not like I'm any better. But, like, I don't know, I look down on Saudi Arabia for the way it treats women. I look down on England for the way it treats trans people. I look down on Germany for being so fucking hardcore Zionist.
And how this relates is, go on.
How this relates is that if I were the Federation and I had been a peaceful, fucking idyllic one world government, if I was from Earth, let's say, if I was from Earth in the 24th century depicted in Star Trek, where it's been like 250 years since the last time anyone fucking starved to death or got typhus or fucking died in a war on Earth. So if I'd been living in that situation for 250 years and I met another planet that was still fighting amongst itself, I'd look down on them a little bit. Maybe I shouldn't, but I would.
I mean, yeah, but y'all still got Tasha Yars out there you ain't taking care of.
Tasha Yar, yeah, that's a unique case. And I'm not talking about the Federation's policies. I'm just saying if I were like a normal civilian from Earth who didn't really go out in space a ton.
I feel like that's just cherry picking your people of the Federation, though. Because, like, how many motherfuckers are from Earth comparatively?
Well, that's why I said, like, for a diplomat, meaning the people on the Enterprise, it's good that they have this culturally relative attitude about things. And that's good. That's a trait we should all aspire to have. I'm not saying it's good that I feel such resentment to other cultures because they're dicks to their women or whatever. But, like, I specified that, like, things I disagree with their government or their culture, usually their government, really, or government enforced at least, take part in. Because, like, I hate that Saudi Arabia treats women like dog shit. But then if I meet a dude who's from Saudi Arabia who doesn't treat women like dog shit, I'm like, oh, cool, you want a fucking drink? I mean, he probably doesn't want an alcoholic drink because he's from Saudi Arabia, but, you know, he'll want a Coca-Cola or something. I don't know.
He's not currently in Saudi Arabia. Who knows?
Well, I'm just assuming that he's Muslim if he's from there. So maybe he doesn't want alcohol. That's fine. Whatever.
How many assumptions are we going to make?
It is kind of a reasonable assumption that Muslims don't want to drink alcohol because Muslims
How do we know he's Muslim?
Well, again, if he's from Saudi Arabia, that's a reasonable assumption.
I don't know, man.
I don't know a ton about Saudi Arabia, so I don't know if they have any little, like, Christian enclaves in there. Maybe they do, but it's a majority Muslim country, so a guy from there is likely to be Muslim, and therefore he probably doesn't want alcohol, and that's fine with me. Whatever. Have a fucking beef hot dog and drink a Coca-Cola and, I don't know, talk about clouds. Fucking, I don't know what other Muslim dudes like. Maybe he's into fucking pop music. I don't know. That's the thing about Muslims. They're human beings like you, and they can be into whatever they want, as long as it
Maybe
doesn't
he's
hurt
really into
anybody.
Taylor Swift.
I mean, I think that's a little cringe, but whatever. It's a free country. You have the right to be cringe.
He's just into the T Swizzle.
You could do a lot worse. You could be into like fucking Screwdriver or something.
What is that?
It's a Nazi metal band. They spell Screwdriver with a K.
I don't think Screwdriver has a K in it.
It doesn't. They replaced the C with a K to make it clear that they're bad.
That's not good.
No, it's not, and that's why everyone makes fun of them.
I don't think they should do that.
No, they really shouldn't. I saw a great meme once that was like the, guy gets mad when you respond template.
Yes.
And he's like, Screwdriver's first album wasn't racist, because that's true. They recorded their first album before they learned about white supremacy.
Okay.
And then the guy replies, yeah, maybe it wasn't racist, but was it good? And then the other guy gets mad.
But was it good?
I've never listened to it. I assume no. Just because guys like that can't really produce very good art most of the time.
I'm hesitant to say shit like that because I feel like that's a comfortable lie we tell ourselves.
It's kind of true. I'm not saying no conservative can make good art. I'm saying dudes who are like white supremacists have closed themselves off to all the things that make someone artistic.
I mean, Hugo Boss.
Hugo Boss wasn't, clearly he didn't have that much of a problem with it, but Hugo Boss wasn't an ideological fascist. He just got a contract and didn't fucking say no, which is bad. Don't get me wrong.
The guy who designed the Volkswagen.
I'm pretty sure that was the same case.
Designers at Mitsubishi.
I assume the same. And also, that's not that there's no artistry to that, but that's science. That's different.
I mean,
like, if you look at white supremacist comic strips, not only are they racist as fuck, but they suck. Their art is terrible. Their storylines are bad. Because all they can do is follow, like, cliches, because they've closed themselves off to most normal art because it's Jewish, or black, or gay, or whatever fucking group you don't like. Haram. I don't know.
I hear what you're saying. I see what you're putting down.
I mean, how many like jokes do you hear about white guys who are so racist they don't listen to any good music because the good music is too influenced by blues or whatever?
I don't hear that joke, but that sounds like a sad experience.
Yeah, I think. Did you ever watch Lucifer on Fox?
For a little bit, he kept calling her detective a lot.
Yeah, that's his thing. So I don't know if you ever even saw the pilot, or if you did, don't remember it. But there's this scene where they kind of confront this like rapper at his big mansion party, and Lucifer kind of expresses disdain for the guy's music, and he goes like, "Oh, and just to be clear, that's not a race thing. I'm only talking about your music in particular. I love other black music. Without the blues, there'd be no Devil's music."
That's so weirdly particular.
Well, I think he just I don't remember his exact comment, but it was something that could be interpreted racist, and he's like, "Oh, just to be clear, that's not a race thing. I'm just talking about this guy."
See, I kind of hate that like the devil wants to specify that.
It was also 2016, so like you got to judge the jokes by that era.
I felt the same way then, though.
They actually, in a later episode, they have a flashback to 2011, and because it's 2011, they make a really dated Justin Bieber joke on purpose.
Ooh, how dated is the Justin Bieber joke?
It's something about Lucifer says, like something about music. He goes, "They got this new guy Bieber. We're making great use out of his stuff down in hell."
Baby, baby, baby.
Yeah, it's like, yep, that is definitely a joke from 2011.
See, because we hated Justin Bieber, so it's funny.
As I've described on this show before, I did also hate Justin Bieber, but I hated him for a real reason, which was his obnoxious religious advocacy.
Oh my god.
And also, he did some racist shit at first, but you know, he was
He
a kid.
didn't.
I could forgive that a little bit because he was a kid. But,
Oh my god! Here comes white people calling other people racist. He
well,
said the.
again, he was
I
like
don't care.
14, so like whatever, I could get over it.
He said the fucking N word. Who cares?
Yeah,
I'm
he
not doing
told an
racist.
old racist joke I'd heard a million times.
Yeah, that's not even like doing a racist thing. That's like being on Xbox.
Yeah, like I didn't super. And it was an old clip when they found it too. It was from like when he was still doing YouTube videos before he was discovered by Simon Cowell or whoever.
You mean Usher?
Oh, Usher. Yeah, sorry. Simon Cowell was One Direction.
Did Simon Cowell discover One Direction?
I don't know if he discovered them for real or just took credit for discovering them, by which he means took 5 individually talented boys and introduced them to each other. But
I mean, sometimes you gotta introduce 5 talented boys to each other, you know?
speaking of, by the way, I watched Better Man last night, the monkey doing cocaine movie.
That's not a good segue. What the fuck are you talking about?
Like 2 years ago, remember Better Man?
No, I don't, unfortunately.
Do you know who Robbie Williams is?
I don't.
He's a British pop star who never quite became a big hit in the US, but is
Yes!
like the monstrous hit of the UK.
I've heard of this guy for some stupid fucking reason.
Probably because of this movie, because it's a biopic about him, but he's rendered as a CGI Planet of the Apes monkey.
What?
Like, for not for no reason, there's thematic, symbolic reasons for it, but the movie never acknowledges that he's a CGI monkey.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen this.
Yeah, it came out like a year and a half ago. I finally got around to watching it, but yeah, he
I
did
don't
it
think
because.
the reason I heard of this guy was because of this fucking monkey.
But yeah, like he explained in interviews, it's like because he felt there's a comment in the movie where he says he feels like a less evolved life form than other people. But he also kind of said, you know, I felt like the dancing monkey putting on the show for people in the early days of my career, so this reflects that. And he also kind of commented, plus it hammers home how sad this part of the story is because there's nothing cool about a monkey doing cocaine. And of course, then I'm like, that's the coolest fucking thing I've ever heard. But
I mean, it depends how you look at it.
they did manage to make it sad, despite the fact that it's a monkey doing cocaine.
Is the monkey enjoying?
He thinks he is in the moment, but in reality, he's just running away from his inner demons.
I don't know. I feel like either the monkey's enjoying the cocaine or he's not.
Well, keep in mind, the monkey is sentient. Like, he just looks like a monkey, but he talks and fucking drives a car and everything. Like, he's a sentient being.
You're a sentient being. You know that?
Thank you, I am. But yeah, it was a shockingly good movie. Like, both because it's like an emotional story about a rise, fall, rise again, you know, typical music biopic thing, but also like it delves a lot into his relationship with his family, not his like children. He doesn't have those as of when the movie ends. I mean, like his mom and his grandma and shit. Um, it has one of the best fucking dance sequences I've ever seen because it has like 200 extras moving in perfect step. Like, obviously, there's digital merging to make it all look like one shot, but
Hmm.
it's it if obviously they hid cuts in there, but it's a seemingly unbroken shot that goes on for like 5.5 minutes
Wow.
doing this dance number. Like it starts him walking out of the theater and then like goes down the street and like across the fucking planet by the end of it, all in like one shot.
Across the planet?
Not literally the planet, but like across town, like following him through the streets as he sings and dances. Has these like huge arcing crane shots of like the whole street with 200 people all dancing together.
It's given Spider-Man 3.
Yes, but everyone's joining in instead of looking at him like he's a weird lunatic.
So Spider-Man 3 had La La Land, baby.
Basically, yeah, it's really fucking good. It's a really good movie.
How good is it?
It's like a 4.5 out of 5 is what I gave it.
Okay, I gotta check that out.
And it's got the real not he's not playing himself in like the mocap suit because he just needs to look and sound a lot younger than he is, but The songs are the real Robbie Williams, and the narration is the real Robbie Williams.
This is so strange.
Yeah. He doesn't do his own voice in the movie at large just because he's so much younger. It makes sense that his speaking voice would sound a lot younger than his current speaking voice does.
I guess, sure.
But the singing is really him. Like, they're new versions of the songs, too. They're not just, like, ripping out the album version and having people dance over it. They're, like, new recordings and everything.
Was his music good?
I don't know if it was a vastly different style, given his general style, I assume, but the versions in the movie are really good. I mean, they were like a teen boy band type of thing, so maybe the album version I wouldn't be as into, but, like, the lyrics are fucking brilliant, and the orchestral versions of the songs sound amazing.
Wait, did he have, like, a band, or was it just him?
Initially, he was in a boy band, like a One Direction type boy band, and then he went out on his own.
Backstreet's back, all right.
Yeah, they were called Take That.
Take Back?
Take That.
What were they taking back?
No, not Take Back, Take That, as in, like, take that.
Oh, that's very British.
Yeah, they are very British.
Is that someone enjoying spices? Take that.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it was like a charming little fun movie with some great songs, great dances. The relationship between him and his grandma is like delightful because it reminds me of my grandma.
How so?
Like, she's just very encouraging of his insane dream to be a famous musician, and even though she's watching his dad like piss his life away trying and failing to do the same thing, she's like, well, I think you got it, buddy. Even though your dad's fucking up severely. What'd you say?
Your grandma wants you to become a famous musician?
No, but my grandma was always very encouraging of any crazy idea I had.
What crazy ideas do you have?
Wanting to write scripts and make movies and do YouTube and shit. All the shit that I am actually doing.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
I mean, it is. Some parents would say it is crazy, but mine were just like, all right, do that then. Which was nice. And I think I'm a better person for it. But yeah, his grandma was like, you know, very, at least as depicted in the movie, was very much like, you know, you can do your singing, old chap.
Hip, hip, in it?
Yeah. It was a nice movie.
But they're British.
They even throw a little bit of fucking shade at Oasis because of some shit I won't spoil, but...
Fucking Phil Collins.
No, that's Genesis.
Who's in Oasis?
The Gallaghers.
Oh.
Really, they're just throwing shade at Liam Gallagher, not the other one, but...
Fucking Liam Gallagher. Fucking not Phil Collins.
Yeah, there's a scene I didn't quite get. I assume they're just making a self-deprecating joke, but one of the songwriters he worked with for a while, they cut to this scene where the two of them are on vacation at a beach, and the guy's lying there tanning, and he slides his shorts super far down so you can, like, basically not quite exposing his ass, but, like, you can see the very top of his ass crack, and he's like, you mind lotioning me up? And then Robbie, like, reluctantly does it. I'm assuming the scene never happened because his narration says, so the thing about Greg is, or whatever his name was, so he likes talking about this story about us on vacation, and we like using our songs in this movie, so our lawyers made a deal, and that's why this scene is here.
That's pretty fun.
Yeah, so I'm assuming that he was like, you can use my songs as long as you put in this silly little joke about us.
That he just suntans his penis or something?
No, he doesn't take his pants off. He just, like, asks his buddy to lotion up his back in a way that's really awkward.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I'm assuming that the whole thing is just like, hey, he wanted to lean into the jokes about us being gay, even though we're not gay.
But they're gay.
No, they're not gay. It's just people speculated they were for a long time, so they decided to lean into the joke.
But they're gay.
As far as I know, they're not, because Robbie Williams is very happily married to a woman. So,
To quote Macklemore, I'm not gay, but if I was, I would want equal rights.
yeah, you can do a lot worse than that take, even if it is a little bit cringe.
I just like how like the I don't know, man. Doesn't seem like he really wants equal rights as much as he wants that gay money.
I mean, I'm sure he wants both, but like, I think if you put a gun to his head and said, "Do you support gay rights?" he'd say yes.
Yeah, but if you put a gun to his head and you're like, "Did you make that song because you support gay rights?" He'd be like, "No."
Well, yeah, I mean, that might be true as well. I'm sure that money was a motivating factor, but like, just because you're motivated by money doesn't mean you don't believe what you're saying.
Hmm, I suppose.
I mean, I'm not going to call that the boldest stance to take at the time he took it, but like that was still a roughly 50-50 issue. He could have alienated a lot of his own fans doing that.
I don't think so, man. He's Macklemore. No one cared about what his white ass was up to.
They did in 2012 though. He was kind of a big star back then.
I don't know. It was always a little meh.
I don't know, like the safe decision financially at that time would have been to not do that song. It wound up working out for him, but the safest course would have been to not do it.
But you might just argue it was an extended investment move.
It was, yeah, but it was still a risk. So clearly he's not hostile to the idea, or he wouldn't have taken the risk.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, like he probably like knew a gay. If he doesn't have a relative, maybe he does. I don't know, but if not, maybe he like knew a gay guy in high school, and he's like, yeah, Pete was pretty cool. I don't know what the big deal is,
When he was in the third grade, he thought he was gay because his
because he
uncle
kept his
was.
room straight.
And his uncle was, and he could draw. You can't forget about these defining factors.
The uncle one, I mean, that obviously doesn't make sense, but it makes sense that an ill-informed child would think it made sense. But the other two I'd never heard before.
I think it's the drawing that always gets me.
I don't know. A lot of kids I knew could fucking draw. They didn't get accused of being gay over it. But then again, I grew
That's
up
what I'm
slightly
saying.
later than him, so maybe. I don't know.
It's not even that anyone accused him of being gay. He's just like, nah, man, I have to be gay.
Well,
'Cause I can
speaking
draw.
of late 2000s things that got accused of being gay, I can't put it off anymore. I gotta talk about this fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
So, Jumper. I watched this movie a few weeks ago for the first time since I was like 11 years old, and then I remembered why I didn't watch it in that interim. It's because it sucks shit.
It's not that bad.
It's pretty bad, dude. It's not the worst movie ever. It's got some good ideas in it, but man, it was fucking irritating to watch.
Why?
Uh, so I'll bring up the visual aids again. First of all, it had this fucking hideous color palette that all movies in this era had that I fucking hate.
Okay, I can agree that that's not a great palette.
It actually wasn't as bad in the movie as it is on this poster, but it was like very late. It was very much like you put it on and you immediately go, "Yep, 2008." It's directed by Doug Liman, the untalented fucking hack behind Born Identity and Mr. and Mrs. Smith and the Roadhouse remake and the new fucking AI movie that is probably gonna not even be AI, but he claims it is. I hate Doug Liman. I hate him with a burning fucking passion, for many reasons. Let me pull up his filmography to remind myself of everything he's done. Oh yeah, co-written by David S. Goyer, Jim Yules, and Simon Kinberg. If you were looking for the level of fucking talent we're working with here, the same people behind such hits as Batman v Superman and X-Men: Dark Phoenix.
Dark Phoenix. Everyone totally loved that one.
They loved the comic it was based on. That's for sure.
True.
Oh yeah, his AI movie is about Bitcoin. Just to fucking add insult to
What?
injury.
I'm sorry. What did you just say to me?
His AI movie is about Bitcoin.
Kill him.
Yeah, it's called Bitcoin and everything. Oh, and it's got Gal Gadot in it. Yeah, okay, that's all I need to know.
That's evil on like a lot of levels. Wow.
So this is Doug Liman's filmography. Now, granted, I haven't seen every movie on this list. In fact, I haven't seen most of them. But Bourne Identity's pretty good, even though it accidentally ruined action movies. That's not really its fault, but it does. It's an asterisk attached to that movie's legacy.
You really are upset that that movie did that, huh?
I really am. I think I saw Mr. and Mrs. Smith when I was a kid, but I don't remember anything from it. I remember hearing it was pretty good.
I never saw that movie.
Jumper we'll talk about. Edge of Tomorrow I hear good things about, even though it looks like the worst movie I've ever seen.
What's the movie about?
That's the one where he like has to die and be reborn at the beginning of the same day.
Oh no, I saw that. That was Dog Water.
Okay, because I heard people I trust say it was really good.
Wasn't that fucking Tom Cruise?
Yeah. Like people who don't like Tom Cruise told me it was really good.
I mean, I could see why people liked it, I guess. I didn't like it.
It's written by Christopher McQuarrie, which is fairly encouraging. So I will watch it at some point. It's just every time I see a still or clip from it, it looks like the worst thing I've ever seen.
Okay, that's fair. I get you.
But then again, I've seen other movies that looked terrible out of context, but then in context looked good. So, American Made. I remember what.
Then again, you also made me watch Ice Cube.
I didn't make you do anything, all right? I just suggested it.
It was a terrible suggestion.
Gary Spinelli, is that who I think it is?
Gary Spinelli.
Did he write Maniac McGee?
Did he?
Oh, that was Jerry Spinelli, not Gary Spinelli. Okay, yeah, Maniac McGee is the book we all read when we were 9.
I don't think I read this book. Was it a good book?
I remember liking it when I was 9. I don't know if it's like actually good, but I guess they made a TV movie of it at some point. Never saw that. Yeah, anyway, Doug Liman, if nothing else, I would be forever angry at him for the Roadhouse remake, because that movie was like actually fucking abysmal.
Roadhouse.
Yeah, and I'm not the biggest fan on earth of the original Roadhouse, but I really like it. It's a fucking great movie.
I think I've seen it once.
Yeah, like there's really good lines in it. There's really good fight choreography. It's got this awesome fucking score from the same guy who did Die Hard, Michael Kamen. It sounds kind of like the Die Hard theme at times too. Not like plagiarism wise, but just like you can tell the same composer wrote it. There's some funny shit in there. There's some great like really weird, insane line readings that would be terrible in another movie, but are great in this movie.
Like, what do you mean?
Like, there's some real overacting from some of the bit parts that would be bad in a bad movie, but because the movie is good, it's instead charming.
Okay.
You like these titties here? For $20, you can kiss them.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that like he's pimping out his fucking girlfriend or whatever. She's into it. Like, it's not a fucking sex slavery thing. She's intrigued by the concept. Or the inimitable classic. I used to fuck guys like you in prison.
Damn.
You like my trophy room, Dalton? The only thing missing is your ass.
Damn.
There's some fucking awesome lines in that movie, man. I love that movie. But
that's a whole fucking lot.
The remake was so I mean, it was bad because it's a remake of Roadhouse. Um, I didn't like Jake Gyllenhaal in it at all. Jake Gyllenhaal, I'll talk about this in its own segment one day. I don't like the vibe Jake Gyllenhaal gives me.
What do you mean?
He's a great actor. He's been in a lot of great movies. Something in his eyes says to me that he fucking has a dark secret.
I love that about him.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's like a really unethical secret. It's just like, oh, he saw something bad once or whatever. I don't know.
Jake Gyllenhaal looks like he does part-time work with Nick Cage on the weekends.
Yeah, I mean, he was cast as Donnie Darko for a reason. I'll say it that way. But I didn't like him in that movie at all. There's some really fucking bad CGI fight doubling, which really stands out when the original movie had such great fight choreography. Cinematography's fucking ugly. Soundtrack is bad. They used AI to finish the fucking ADR during the writer's strike, which is unethical for a million reasons. Another unethical thing. They have Conor McGregor as one of the antagonists.
Why?
Because he's a UFC guy. And he does give a half decent performance in the movie because he's playing a violent fucking misanthropic psychopath. Which, yeah, he's playing himself. It makes sense. He's decent at it. By the way, they cast him in this movie after the numerous rape allegations.
Oh, that's fun.
Or after some of them, and then more came out. So it's not quite as bad, but it's still pretty bad. They portray him consistently throughout the movie as like a genuinely really dangerous, violent person, like even outside the ring. And then they play in the post-credit scene, he escapes from the hospital and they play it for laughs.
That's not good.
Yeah, now, granted, Con Air did the same thing, but Con Air was better. And Con Air also isn't really supposed to be taken that seriously. But yeah, he's clearly like mentally ill because he doesn't just walk out of the hospital. He fucking just walks out naked. Like, he doesn't even bother to grab some clothes before walking out. So he's clearly like a lunatic.
Or he's just very proud of his form.
I mean, maybe he is too, but like, you could have had that scene with him shirtless and it would have worked just as well. But no, his fucking dick is flopping around.
A man can't have his dick flopping around sometimes.
Sometimes is one thing, but walking out into into like the public where there's people of all ages around and also you're escaping from police custody.
But Black Dynamite, I sell drugs to the community.
Yeah, well, Black Dynamite can walk around naked if he wants, though he has to be very careful how he walks, because if he pivots too fast, his dick will cut someone's head off.
Black Dynamite don't need none of that trouble.
Or at least leave them with a bruise. I shouldn't play the clip because copyright, but I wish I could, because the perfect encapsulation of this movie
is a parody.
What?
We can do it for the sake of parody.
Yeah, but playing the clip, I think, violates TOS.
It does not.
It shouldn't, but I think it does. And we're live streaming. That's old. Anyway, so in the original Roadhouse movie, he strikes up this relationship with this sexy doctor played by Kelly Lynch, I think. Yeah. And so at one point after one of his fights, he's like kind of roughed up, so she's patching him up. And like just doing like some minor stitches. He doesn't use pain meds for it or anything because he's so tough, It's that kind of movie.
It's so tough. Yeah.
It's Patrick Swayze. He's a fucking badass.
That's so tough.
And so she kind of quips, "Do you ever actually win one of these fights?" And he says, "No one ever really wins a fight."
Oh.
That's like Dalton's thing. He's a very like philosophical guy. Like, he has like a fucking architecture degree, and for some reason he does this for a living. But
architecture?
Like he's clearly like brilliant, but through one way or another wound up being a bouncer for a living. Okay. In the remake, the reason he's a bouncer is because he was a UFC fighter who accidentally killed someone in the ring and it fucked up his reputation.
That's a lot more specific.
Yeah, they have a bit of that in the original because Dalton, not in a sanctioned fight, but in like a street fight at a bar he used to work at, he kind of like snapped and killed the guy.
Damn.
Because he's like a super expert martial artist. So I think he literally ripped the guy's throat out. Like that was, he just did like a God, just because he kind of lost control in the fight for a second. And it was like legally fine because the guy was trying to kill him, but it's fucked with him since. Like he's been carrying guilt around for doing that.
Well, I would have some guilt.
Even though he shouldn't, because it was self-defense. They make it clear, like the guy was trying to stab him, and he kind of legally had every right to kill him.
That doesn't.
But he
My
knows he
morals
could
aren't
have.
defined by the law.
Yeah, he knows he could have ended the fight without killing the guy, and he didn't, and he feels guilty about that. So, that philosopher warrior guy, no one ever really wins a fight. But the way the line is said is important because she quips, "Do you ever actually win a fight?" And he just goes, "No one ever really wins a fight." He just kind of says it casually because they didn't know that was going to become a really famous line from the movie when they wrote it.
Sure.
But then the remake comes and the same scene happens. And by the way, it's shot in the original, shot reverse shot. Very typical conversation shooting style, right? Right? You get what I mean?
Oh yeah. Sorry, I didn't realize you wanted me to say something.
I just wanted to make sure you got, because I'm a film guy. You're not as much of a film guy. I want to make sure that the shit that's common knowledge to me isn't mansplaining to other people.
Okay, yes.
So shot reverse shot in the original. In the remake, it's all one shot. She says, "Do you ever actually win a fight?" And the camera slowly pans over to Jake Gyllenhaal, and he sits there with like a smirk on his face and hesitates for a second before saying the line to give you, the viewer, time to go, "Oh, he's gonna say it, he's gonna say it, he's gonna say it." It's so fucking lame.
That's funny as shit.
Dude, I couldn't believe that shit when I saw it. Like, it was so bad.
It sounds like you take it personally.
I do, because I really like Roadhouse, and I like it because of specific traits it has that this movie goes the opposite direction of. Like, Roadhouse could have been a much shittier movie, and part of why it's not is because that's actually Patrick Swayze doing those crazy moves. Oh, like, they keep the camera really still during this fight and let the actors do the work so you can tell how hard the actors trained for this role. Whereas in the remake, it's like CGI doubles. And bad CGI doubles, by the way.
That's not good.
The original takes place in like a kind of southern country fried bar, so it's got this like bluegrass jazzy soundtrack to it.
Huh.
From like a live band that play in a cage, like Blues Brothers style.
Okay.
Whereas the new one has like shitty fucking EDM house music as its soundtrack because it's just a completely different fucking vibe. And I get that that's somewhat intentional, but still, it doesn't work.
It sounds like you just don't like house music personally.
Well, I don't, but like, I don't mind it in GTA or fucking like a setting where it makes sense. But Roadhouse is like a shady southern fucking like bar where you can get the shit kicked out of you or worse type of environment, not at like a really pristine, fancy Miami beach bar.
Is that the only place I'm allowed to hear EDM?
Well, no, but like, it's not the EDM that's the problem. It's the beach bar Miami setting that's the problem. And the EDM just exacerbates that. And also, it's shitty EDM.
Okay, that is important. It's not good EDM.
Yeah. Like, you could not, I'm not a particular fan of that genre, but you can make it fit in that setting. Anyway, Doug Liman's a fucking untalented hack. Jumper. You remember Jumper?
I remember Jumper.
So, it's a shame because I like a lot of the stuff. Jumper feels like the pilot episode of a TV show.
It does, doesn't it?
Like, to the point that it leaves the villain alive at the end, you know? And that's not necessarily even a complaint because I've seen movies that felt like TV pilots that were still good. But it wastes Samuel L. Jackson. I don't even think Hayden Christensen is like the worst actor. I think he's really good at face acting. It's just his dialogue delivery can be wonky at times if he doesn't have the right material. And this movie is not the right material.
Okay.
Rachel Bilson isn't very good. Like, I don't want to pick on her too hard because it can come across misogynistic, but she's not. She doesn't have the acting skill required for this role.
Misogynist.
It. So, like, do you remember who Samuel Jackson is?
Another guy with loop powers.
No.
Damn
He's
it.
the
Oh, wait, no,
he's
he's the guy looking for the loop people.
Yeah, he's part of the Paladins, which are like this ancient religious order. Supposedly they were responsible for the Crusades and shit.
He's Samuel L. Crocker for loopers.
Yeah. Except unlike Crocker, he's like actually somewhat competent in his job. So they have this whole scene at the beginning in like the jungles of the Amazon where he's hunting down this jumper and they've got him like chained up because they caught him.
I loosely remember what you're talking about.
Yeah, and so I'm thinking like, oh, cool. They're gonna slowly reveal Samuel L. Jackson's motivations in pieces as this movie goes on. Because like that's how the movie feels when you're watching it, both before that in the first scene with him and after. It feels like they're gonna slowly ease you in. But then I guess test audiences probably didn't get it because they awkwardly stapled in this scene where he kills another jumper and basically spells out his whole motivation. Because the guy's like, "Why are you doing this?" And he goes, "Because abominations like you don't have the right to exist. Only God has the right to be in all places at all times." And it's like, yeah, that would have been really cool if you'd slowly revealed that motivation to me throughout the movie, like you probably originally intended.
Media literacy is down, my friend.
Yeah, like because in his first scene, he like identifies himself as FBI, but then doesn't act like an FBI guy at all. So you're like, oh, he's doing something.
He's up to some shenanigans.
Yeah, but like, there's some cool set pieces in the movie, like the notion of teleportation fights that can spill across different continents in 3 seconds. Like that's cool. The fact that a jumper can move through another's jump scar because it's essentially a wormhole that actually stays open for another couple seconds.
Well, that's pretty fun.
The notion of like a religious order hunting teleporters isn't like this is all based on a book. In fact, part of why the movie got shitty reviews because it diverges from the book so much. In fact, they wrote like 7 of the fucking books and they only made the one movie, which should show you the size.
Damn.
Maybe not 7, but like more than 3. Let me find out. Yeah, hang on. There's 3 full-length sequels, there's a short story in there, and then there's another book that is a prequel to the movie version. Which tells like the original character from the movie, the prequel book is about him. So yeah, they wrote like 4 or 5 of these things. Not all of them have all the same characters, but they're all the same like universe, you know.
We ain't got nothing.
Yeah, I guess in the sequel the girl gets the powers too. Maybe it's fucking sexually transmitted. I don't know. I know their daughter has the powers. That part makes sense.
That's a lot of powers.
But like, you know, the notion that he has to like kind of be able to see it in his mind's eye to teleport, like that's cool. That like him having the whole wall of different locations across the planet.
Yeah, that shit's fun.
Yeah, like there's some cool shit in this movie. It's just that what happened was the writers had a couple cool set piece ideas and a couple cool aesthetic ideas, and then said, "Oh fuck, we need to actually write a story around this." And they were probably given like 2 weeks to do it by the studio.
Dog, that's how I feel about the Amazing Digital Circus. That's a whole other can of worms.
I liked in that first encounter he has with Samuel L. Jackson. I like the fact that he struggles with the doorknob because, as Samuel L. Jackson points out, it's been like over a decade since he last had to use a door, so he's pretty much forgotten how to turn a doorknob.
Why? Who? Who would spend time using fucking doors?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, to some extent, he has to just to keep up appearances because he can't teleport in front of people, both because they'd freak out and because you kind of set off shock waves with your teleportation unless you're really, really careful.
Don't tell me what I can do.
I mean, they're ripping open a wormhole. It makes sense that if you're not really careful, you'd like shred the environment around you by doing that.
I just feel like he wouldn't give a fuck and or wouldn't know.
Well, no, well, he knows because he has powers, so of course he knows. But he gives a fuck just if for no other reason than because he doesn't want to attract attention. He is a criminal after all.
Well, I mean, like he doesn't know people can track him like that.
No, not track him, but if he does it in front of someone, they'll be like, "Oh, what the fuck?"
Yeah, I just wouldn't be. I'd be fucking off.
Well, that's what he does. But like he lives in that big penthouse, but he has to, walk out the front door because people will see him walk out the door, and then he finds a secluded alley and jumps off. But he still has to somewhat mind other people's presence. Plus, he doesn't want to destroy his fucking apartment every time he jumps. But I don't know. Like I like the. I guess I kind of like the other jumper guy, even though his backstory is kind of lazily thrown in. Like they couldn't figure out how to throw it in, so they were really clumsy with it.
They were trying.
Yeah, like they had some ideas. It's just that like whoever the ideas man was handed off the script to Simon fucking Kinberg. Like, yeah, no wonder it turned out like dog shit. Has that guy ever done any good movies where he was more than a producer? No.
Did really drop the ball.
Yeah, it says a lot that he was a producer on like 30 fucking movies and didn't get to actually direct one until 2019.
Okay. That's a while.
Now, because producers don't really make creative decisions most of the time, some of the movies he was a producer on were good. Because, like, some of the X-Men movies were good.
Because he's just helping make sure shit gets accomplished, not deciding what gets accomplished.
Yeah, producers typically are the guys, like, securing locations and, that kind of stuff. Like, signing contracts, making financial deals. It's not to say they never have a creative hand in it. In fact, a lot of the time, the producer might also be the writer or might also be whatever, but
it's not inherent.
yeah. Co-wrote X-Men: The Last Stand, and then later co-wrote and directed the shittier version of Dark Phoenix.
Like a phoenix.
He was co-writer and executive producer on Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, which I actually like more than most people do. Though maybe I wouldn't still.
I was a fan of Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. I feel like people were mean to it.
Well, the director of it later made one of the worst movies I've ever fucking watched, which was Mercy. So in hindsight, I'm probably going to be harsher to it.
I get that.
Yeah, so he's produced a lot of stuff that's half decent. It's just what he's actually had like a writer or director hand in has sucked.
Then he fucks it up.
Not all of it. Like the first Sherlock Holmes movie was all right.
The Downey?
Yeah.
I was already annoyed by the fighting style at that one, but that's just me.
I was too, but like the movie I'm not calling it like the best movie ever. I've only seen it the once when it came out, but like it had something to offer.
That is true.
Like at least it had some. At least it had the discombobulate scene. Like I still remember that scene. I still make jokes about it.
I don't remember this scene.
Remember when he's fighting, they show how like he has the super analytical fighting style.
Yeah, that.
Well, it is like he narrates to himself basically, and one of the things he, like dodge right, discombobulate, and like hit the guy like that.
Oh, okay.
I just have seen enough memes of discombobulate that like I still remember that scene all these years later.
I just remember him talking like that, being like, Jesus Christ, shut up.
Yeah, it definitely got old quickly, but at first it wasn't annoying. Yeah,
is that the truth? Or are we just telling ourselves that?
Well, granted, I was a kid. Maybe I'd be more annoyed by it now, but I remember as like a 13-year-old thinking like, yeah, that was kind of interesting. But
Okay,
so,
fair enough.
so this is his list of producer credits, and you'll see a ton of real movies in there, like Logan or Deadpool 2 or The Martian. But then most of his writer credits are shit. Not all of them. There's a few on here that aren't shit, but most of them are shit. X-Men: The Last Stand, Jumper.
I
Uh,
rewatched the South Park episode today where they said shit 150 times.
oh yeah, with the counter in the corner.
Yeah.
That was at the time I watched that. They were usually censored on Netflix, but that episode wasn't. So it was a big deal, even in hindsight.
I do enjoy how the entire episode's like, no, this is not a big deal. Y'all really just don't care about the right fucking things.
He co-wrote the 355, which is a spy movie I forgot existed. I
What's
only
it
remember
about?
the name of that because it takes its name from the same George Washington spy ring as one of the main characters from Y the Last Man.
As what?
You remember Y the Last Man?
No, I don't know what it is.
Oh god. I guess we can talk about that before we go. I have the comic up there. It also got an excellent Hulu series adaptation that got canceled after one season and then taken off of Hulu, and you can now only watch it via piracy. Cool.
Ooh,
Thanks.
we love piracy.
I fucking certainly do now. Jesus Christ. If buying ain't owning, piracy ain't stealing.
That it's yeah, dude.
Piracy is also the only reason we have any surviving copies of the original Nosferatu, because they tried to have those destroyed for legal reasons.
Really?
Yeah, because the fucking Dracula, not Dracula's estate, Bram Stoker's estate sued them over its similarities to Dracula.
Oh my fucking god, Bram Stoker.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, he was dead by then. It was his estate that did it. I think his wife.
Bram Stoker estate. Why?
So, Y the Last Man is a comic from Vertigo, which now it's just published by DC, like the reprints.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and it is so it's called Y is Y chromosome. The Last Man is literal. It's about a virus that gets out that kills every male mammal on Earth. So not just people, animals too.
Okay.
Except for one guy and his pet monkey.
Uh, okay.
So he has no idea why he survived. He has no idea why it's just him and the monkey. And he gets so that they obviously need to figure out why, because like why the fuck did this guy survive? So he gets basically taken in by this government agent whose name we never find out. Her name is Agent 355. And what that name comes from was that she's part of a super top secret spy ring that answers directly to the president called the Culper Ring, which
Oh,
was
okay.
in real life was the name
Didn't
of
the
George.
president die though?
Well, I'll get to that. So in real life, George Washington during the Revolutionary War had a spy ring called the Culper Ring, and he was Agent 355, or like one of his big guys was Agent 355.
Oh, okay.
So this is a fictional modern incarnation of the Culper Ring, and she's an agent for it. She does like the super top secret shit.
Like
And
what?
so like, fucking high profile assassinations, deep cover missions,
Oh, okay.
like the really fucking dedicated like Navy SEAL fucking CIA type shit.
Sure.
So she is ordered by the surviving members of the U.S. government to escort this one surviving man to safety. So it's basically like a road series about the two of them plus this geneticist who they hope can cure the disease. Like the trio of them traveling together across this fucked up version of the U.S. Actually, they go all over the world, but at first it's the U.S. and then later it's all over the world.
That's far.
Yeah, like they actually travel on the plane with or not the plane, the train car with Lenin's preserved corpse at one point.
Vladimir Lenin's preserved corpse.
Yeah, they still have his corpse preserved in a glass case. They use it for ceremonial stuff.
In real life, they do.
I mean, it's not perfectly preserved, but yeah, they still have it.
Who is they?
Like the Russian government.
That's so fucked up.
Yeah, well, they did it in the era where it was a personality cult, and then once it wasn't anymore, they were just like, well, now it's a tradition.
Yeah, but the personality cult literally at the time told Lenin to go fuck himself.
Apparently, they deemed his corpse useful because they still kept it.
That's why it's so fucked up.
Also, the main character has the fuck communism lighter from Preacher, and he even references, oh, it's from a comic book I read. And when they get caught in the train car, the Russian soldiers see his fuck communism lighter, and they're like, yo, man, what the hell? And he's like, oh, it's from a comic. It's from a comic.
Did that sell them on it?
It just cuts away from there. We don't really get to find out how they reacted. But it's a really good comic. It explores like gender in a really interesting way. The comic is slightly dated on that front because it's from the early 2000s, but the show updated it quite a bit.
How dated we talk?
It's not transphobic, it's just that like we didn't know as much about chromosomal science in that era as we do now.
Okay.
Like because fucking transphobes will always say, oh, gender's determined by your chromosomes, and you're like, all right, well, what about the cisgender women who have XXY because of that weird condition, But we didn't know that in 2003 when the comic was written that condition exists. Now we do. So in the TV adaptation, in the like updated version of it, the geneticist doctor lady says, there's the XXY whatever condition that's called that most people don't even know they have because it's a harmless condition. And she said it affected anyone with a Y chromosome. There's tons of cisgender women who probably never even knew they had this condition who just fucking died all of a sudden.
That's not great.
And they also the comic explores trans people a little bit, but not with like main characters. But they add some new characters because they make it a more multifaceted story. And like one of the new main characters is a trans man who therefore is now one of the few men left on Earth and feels kind of weird about that. And like they even mention how finding a consistent supply of T in a T as in testosterone in a society whose supply chain has been ravaged by half the population suddenly dying is difficult. In fact, there's this group of like insane kind of feminists that call themselves the Amazons, who are one of the antagonists, who think that this was like, divine judgment or whatever. And some of them in the show version are even transphobic to this trans guy. They're like, why would you ever want to be a man? To which he replies, I didn't want to be a man, I am one. In fact, so in the comic, he's Yorick is the main character. He's named after Yorick from Shakespeare. Because his parents are like English nerds.
Nice. Fucking nerds.
Actually, his mom is a congresswoman, and because she's basically one of the only politicians left, she eventually becomes president. In fact, the TV version just skips straight to that because they had to condense it a little. So she's like fucking HUD secretary or something when everyone dies, and therefore, because she's basically the only surviving member of the cabinet, she becomes president.
True. Yeah, we can just skip to that part.
I think there was one other, but she was not born in the U.S., so they had to skip her or something like that. Because that's a thing they discuss is like, all right, well, who the fuck is president now? Well, Secretary so-and-so has been there longer, but she was born in Canada, so she's ineligible. So, like one of those. But,
eligible.
But so the main character, Yorick, he initially wears a gas mask everywhere to hide that he's a man. Because they initially don't know where the fuck this virus is coming from, so people wear gas masks sometimes.
Yeah.
But that becomes increasingly implausible with each passing week and month. So eventually he just has to start going out looking like he does. And mostly he doesn't get bothered because people just assume he's a trans man.
You know, it's funny because this is also clearly not conceptualizing of the fact that there's some people who would just put on masks and never take them shits off, like you would public.
Well, that's what he does for a while, but eventually it's just known how the virus works, and so everyone else takes off their gas masks because they're just known to be immune.
So that doesn't say what's underneath his mask.
I don't know, but actually, when he gets caught as a looking like a man for the first time, he initially thinks he's fucked, and then the woman just goes like, "Oh man, I like how you did your beard. It looks really good." And then she kind of just goes, "Yeah, bind those breasts a little tighter, you'll pass perfectly." And he's like, "Cool, thanks."
You got told you had titties.
Um, there's probably a similar version of that in the show when he's hiding, he's wearing the mask, and she goes, it's actually a really nice scene, very sympathetic. He kind of says, the people I'm traveling with have a pretty steady supply of medical stuff. They got bandages, um, whatever, penicillin, whatever. And she goes, they got testosterone too. And then he takes the mask off because he's like, okay, she thinks I'm trans. It's safe here. She's not gonna freak the fuck out and stab me with a knife.
Okay, but like, what is the point of the story though?
Well, the story is about figuring out how they call it the gender side, how it happened, how to cure it, how to produce more people so the human race doesn't die out in 2 generations. Um, and also protecting Yorick from the bad actors, which, by the way, brings me to my big point. Ballsy, in hindsight, fucking move. The arguably main antagonist of the series is an IDF commando. She's like a
I
colonel or
mean,
something.
do they make him explicitly corrupt?
Well, it's her, but yeah, because everyone other than Yorick is a woman, pretty much.
You say pretty much because I know eventually we're gonna end up with men.
Other than flashbacks, no.
I don't trust it. It's like that series, The Last Man on Earth. He is neither the last nor the only man on Earth.
Oh no, Yorick, when they say the last man, they mean it. There is not a single other man on Earth fucking still alive. No male mammals except for his pet monkey. Like it gets to the point that male fish become this super rare, highly sought after commodity just simply because they're one of the only male creatures that survived.
Why does he have a pet monkey?
Uh, so Yorick is like an amateur magician, escape artist guy. Like when we get introduced to him, he's hanging upside down, escaping from a straitjacket. Like it's more of like a hobby kind of, but he's broke because he's like a fucking college student with no career prospects.
As it be.
So he takes what he thinks is going to be a temporary job caring for a monkey who will then be trained to be a service monkey.
Oh, okay.
Because he thinks the job is only going to last like a month. Oh yeah, take care of this monkey for a month. We'll give you $3,000 or whatever. But then after he takes the job, the fucking world ends. So now he's stuck with this monkey.
I'm assuming he doesn't get his $3,000.
The money becomes irrelevant because the world ends.
Money's always relevant.
I don't even know if it was 3,000. I was thinking of like a low ball, but a lot of money to him amount of money. But also because the monkey is also a male and survives, it's now a source of scientific inquiry. So they have to protect Yorick and the monkey, which means no matter how fucking irritating the monkey is, they have to care for it.
Surprised they don't confiscate the monkey.
Well, they don't have the resources to. There's a reason they only send one agent to escort him. That's all they got.
Women, am I right, guys?
Yeah, the reason that Israel suddenly becomes the most powerful country on earth is because it's the only fucking military where half of its military is still around.
That's just wrong, but okay.
What do you mean?
South Korea.
I think at the time South Korea didn't have female military.
Pretty sure South Korea's had both gender forced conscription for like a while now.
Well, they do make it clear these weren't the only countries that had women in their armed services. It's just that Israel, like half of it was made up, so they recovered very quickly.
Well, yeah, no, but I'm saying that Korea also has that because it also has forced conscription.
Maybe they didn't get too into Korea, but they didn't get into most countries. Eventually, we meet some female Australian naval people because Australia had women in its navy. So Australia's navy is still kicking along pretty well.
Fucking Australians, am I right?
But yeah, as for is the IDF colonel lady like explicitly corrupt? Yes, but also like they just have a rather scathing portrayal of her and of the IDF in general.
But that's fun.
Like they don't delve into the Palestinian genocide stuff too much just because due to the nature of the story that's not really relevant anymore. But they definitely portray the IDF as being like very fucking ruthless, very not good at their job at capturing this one guy. Um, she makes some huge fucking moral compromises in her pursuit of this guy. Like both ones we would find compromising and even ones she does.
That's not good.
But it's a fucking awesome comic, and the TV adaptation was really good too. I would have watched like 8 more seasons of that shit.
Sounds like you're into it.
Yeah, well, it's one of my favorite Vertigo comics, like maybe second only to Preacher. It's not as good as Preacher, but it's close. I don't know. They do some cool like exploratory gender stuff. The show, like I said, takes that and updates it slightly to account for the rise of trans people in popular media and just simply for science getting more advanced.
When did this shit come out?
The comic came out in like it started in 2003, but it ran for like 5 or 6 years. And then the show, I think the show only ran for one season, which I think was like 2019 or 2020 maybe.
So like still pretty recent on all accounts.
Yeah, well, because the show in particular obviously brought renewed attention to the comic as well. But the show, a lot of people noted, was like, yeah, it's not too dissimilar to COVID, is it? Oh, yeah, here it is. The comic ran from 02 to 08, and the TV adaptation came out in late 2021.
Okay, so post-COVID.
Yeah, but like still around era COVID.
Yeah. Well, I was there. You don't gotta tell me. Unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah, so here we go. I'll like read this short little thing. In the original comic series, every animal with a Y chromosome instantaneously dies at the same time, including most mammals. Birds, reptiles, amphibians, fish, and invertebrates are unaffected because they mostly use different sex chromosomes. While transgender people do not feature heavily in the original comic, it's mentioned that trans men survived. The producers aim to update and expand on the ramifications of this to reflect changing societal attitudes in the West towards gender in the almost 2 decades since the comic began. The showrunners specified that trans women with Y chromosomes also died, as did women with androgen insensitivity who were unaware they possessed Y chromosomes. The showrunners also added a trans male character to the regular cast who does not have a direct counterpart in the original comic to expand on this world building.
Listen, I love inclusivity, but how do I put this? Focus less on updating fucking 20-year-old comics and just make good new shit.
Oh, well, they did. That's the thing. It's a somewhat loose adaptation, and a lot of the stuff is new, and the new stuff is really good. Like, it's not like Avatar, where it's a carbon copy and then the new scenes suck.
Okay.
Like,
I just don't want.
Go ahead.
I'm just tired of copies.
Yeah, the basic premise is the same, but they change details around a lot.
Okay, I get that.
But like kind of like Preacher, actually, like the same basic premise is the same, and it hits the same general beats, but like a lot of the details will shift.
Okay, I mean, I guess there's hope. I'm tired of renditions, man.
Hey, I know, I get it, but the comic is fucking great. The show is great, though now it ends on a cliffhanger because they fucking canceled it. But
What
I
can you do?
definitely could not recommend the comic highly enough.
Could you recommend the comic highly enough?
I just said that I couldn't.
Are you sure?
Yes.
There we go.
Sorry, I'm just messing with an app on my phone. It's
Ooh,
been
ooh.
down for like days, so
What app?
serialized.
Does it make cereal?
No, it's like Letterboxd for movies.
Oh, that's fine.
Anyway, it is late and my family is probably asleep, so I should probably fucking call it.
That's
Especially
fair. It's
because
bedtime.
X-Men '97 is finally back, and I want to fucking get high and watch it.
Da, 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 da. Magneto was always right.
It's in that version, yeah. Because I talked about that in a Facebook comment the other day. Magneto is heavily influenced by the writer, so sometimes he's just a genocidal lunatic, but when he's written properly, he's unambiguously correct.
Most of the time, he's right. And like, if you make him genocidal, I'd argue that's anti-Semitic. But
Yeah, I kind of agree. The first X-Men movie, which I overall like, and I think Ian McKellen is really good in the role, makes that mistake. His plan is to turn all the humans into mutants so that they understand the pain. All right, I could believe Magneto signing off on that. But then they
sure,
find out the machine doesn't turn them into mutants, it just turns them into goo. And he's like, well, that'll still do. And then just tries to use it on the human race anyway.
absolutely not.
Like, that works fine for this movie, but that's not a very Magneto like thing to do.
Have it be someone else. That's not my Magneto.
Yeah, but Magneto's the only fucking X-Men villain that any casuals know, so they had to. I don't know. They felt the need to.
I get what you're saying, but like maybe the casuals need to grow.
I agree, but this was 2000. Keep in mind.
Oh yeah, no, we are not winning that. So never mind.
Yeah, this was the era where they still had to like give the superheroes black leather outfits.
I mean, I do like me some black leather outfits.
I like them on some characters, but on others, it's fucking like Wolverine should not be wearing that shit.
Okay, now you're right. But like, what are you gonna do? Like, it's not like we're ever gonna get what we want from the Wolverine people.
I mean, we aesthetically we got it in Deadpool and Wolverine,
Kind of.
despite the fact that that movie was heavily reliant on member berries. I did enjoy it.
I remember berries.
Anyway, I'm gonna go fill up my bong and get an ice cream sandwich and probably a beer. Happy 4th of July to those of you who are bootlicking enough to like the 4th of July.
And to our non-American fans, we know we have so many. Happy, just normal day.
Yeah, though I do like hot dogs. Well, actually, I don't love hot dogs particularly. I love cheeseburgers. I love grilling food. I like that part of 4th of July.
But like, you don't need the 4th of July to do that. You can just
No,
do
you
it.
don't. But it is the day that it's essentially required. Anyway, good night, everyone. We'll be back on our usual Tuesday at 9, which, by the way, thank God we don't do the show early anymore, because if we did, there'd be sunlight pouring in through my window, because the sun doesn't go down till like 9 o'clock.
Doc, I was gonna say we should do it early again, but that's a whole other thing.
Yeah, I like giving you some time to get home from work and actually decompress and not have to go straight into the fucking performance.
Well, they changed my schedule, but I'll
Fuckers.
talk about that because on the bright side, I got better hours.
That's good. Anyway, good
Yeah.
night, everyone. We'll be
Good night,
back.
guys.
Stay cool. It's really hot out.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.